over the edge. Feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here.
SsaSpartan can be a bit tricky though. I like that they banned TA on Tundra. We don't see this hero very often, but you're saying, okay, this is a puck mid, and you look at the Brame draft, they need a game winner. You know, what's the hero that activates this lineup? They got a ton of great team fight, but something has got to straight up win them the game. Gyro is not going mid against a puck.
Yeah,
So
really.
what's available?
Yeah.
Death Prophet, perhaps? Just got buffed. Cannot believe it got buffed. Your Q costs, I think, 40 mana less when maxed out, so your farming speed and pace is much higher.
It does take away from the offlane build where people you just have siphon. So now you have the choice between like farm or survive, and that's where the buffs are also kind of like indirect nerfs, right? Because some people might be greedier and want to farm, and then they don't have more points in survivability.
They made his spells better.
Yeah,
It's
but
not a nerf.
at level 7, can you have 404? No, you can't. That's literally impossible. The math doesn't check out.
It's also impossible for Tundra to pick anti-mage because that was the last ban of Brame.
Oi.
Yeah, Wraith King is safe.
Juggernaut still in.
Yeah, I think Jug or Wraith King. It's Skiter. I would say I'd like to see him play more of a pool, but he's mastered the limited puddle that
How
he.
about like a SsaSpartan? There's no
Yeah,
lockdown.
Yeah, SsaSpartan's great.
Right now, I just see Brame as just Omni Rubik offlane, ET5, Gyro mid or carry. They last pick what's needed. Knowing Wish, it is just going to be a mid lane, not Gyrocopter. So I'd like to see just a hero that just kind of abuses the lack of clean lockdown that Brame currently has.
They have no BKB piercing disable for spin as well. I really just think Jug or SsaSpartan is where to go.
SsaSpartan it is.
Yeah.
Slippery fish.
Really, really good against Gyro. I don't know. Why are you celebrating?
I did nothing. What are you doing?
The hell?
I have no idea. We literally he just picked SsaSpartan.
Cow, focus.
We just started.
Can't just focus.
Oh my god.
So yeah, they picked the SsaSpartan. That's pretty cool. And then they have the last pick for Brame. Yeah. And right now let's do the checklist of
Really
Wish
limited.
heroes.
I think Death Prophet's your only real option, but even then, you have such limited catch. Like this mid hero needs to check so many boxes.
Tinker.
No,
it's just because it's Wish. I know. I just said because it's Wish. It's fun. They shouldn't do it.
It's a tough spot here. You need to address the Timbersaw still, I would say, but you also have now this SsaSpartan who has incredible matchups. You could Gyro, you could Omni mid and pick a Doom, but that's a bit awkward. It's a pretty sick Doom game though.
They do like Doom.
Yeah.
SkyLark lives.
Yeah.
It's not his band.
Oh, here we go. Huskar.
All right.
This is filth.
This is.
And now you have the pairing for the Omni Knight. There was a lack of like, what's he really doing in the game? But now they just have a casual Huskar.
And it is the 5 Omni Knight. This is gross. I dig it though. They needed something that changed the status quo. You might not.
Oh, it's offlane ET.
Really?
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, pretty strong against SsaSpartan, to be fair. You can Spirit up and just smack him in the face. You can tank through the Snapfire hits as well, because ultimately you're not trading with him when he has stacks up.
Yeah, so Brame, they were super aggressive against OG, but fell short to being able to hold that tempo. This is a draft that should hold that tempo, but if they fall victim to kind of poor decision making, the SsaSpartan will just run around the game for free. So, yeah.
So you are favoring the SsaSpartan for Tundra to win the game?
You know what? I think Brame's real cool, and I think Brame's gonna be flawless and just walk it.
Okay.
I hope.
All right.
Yeah.
How about you, Kyle?
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm hesitant. I think Tundra's the better team. Their draft also will certainly outscale.
Exactly.
And it's just a question of whether they, as a team, can outclass Brame. I think they've got a good shot, but definitely the mid game favors Brame. If they can get Huskar a winning lane, they need to get the first Roche, preferably before 20 minutes, and then look to end game or at least take all tier 2s by the BKB timings.
But it does seem like both of you are in agreement that it's going to be somewhat even of a game, even though coming into this we said Tundra should take this one.
Yeah, for sure. I think Brame gave themselves the platform to get into the game. I think, again, if you look at the draft, it's Timber should have a pretty free time. Slark's going to have a pretty good time in his lane as well. Might get punished if he overstepped his mark. That sets up to farm, to be greedy, and to outscale. So again, it's all the pressure on Brame. How do they deal with the early Timbersaw threat? Shut down the Slark, play the map with the Huskar.
Okay. Play the map with the Huskar. If Wish does well, it will be good news for Brame. But we're going to find out if the Huskar will be victorious or if the Timber Slark combo will be the one that prevails in the first game. We're heading over to our commentary duo of Moxie and Purge.
All right, well, it sounds like the name of the game is Stacks, but not in the form of creep camps. It sounds like it's about getting those agi stacks up and getting those armor stacks up on the timber saw. What do you think about this game here, Purge?
I'm excited to watch it because there's lots of interesting concepts and heroes that we get to see. We get to see a farming Elder Titan, which is something that you don't really see often unless Fog is playing the hero. And then past that, we get to see a Huskar who just got a little bit of a baby nerf, a little bit less agility. So lots of cool synergy and strategy and mechanical. So naturally very excited.
Excellent, definitely. We did just have a tiny little patch that came out, so a tiny bit of nerf. But Huskar still looked very, very strong, even despite the slight changes that were made to him.
Yeah, the one that might affect him the most is the Berserker's Blood max regen is reduced. And late game, it's not that difference. It's 80% instead of 85 max regen. But with only one skill point in it, it's now 20 instead of 25. So that's basically, we could say, 20% less regen that you're getting from that Berserker's Blood passive than you used to be. So that could be significant if he's getting harassed a lot, but we'll see if it matters that much, because the upside to it is that Helm of Iron Will is like the best lane sustain item in the game right now. So if you're building either an armlet or a Helm of the Dominator, boom, you buy that, you get 6 armor and basically a Ring of Health, 5 HP regen for 900 gold. So if you can get that up pretty quick, he'll probably be fine in his lane.
We'll definitely have to keep our eyes on how that all goes down, but it feels like this patch kind of favors Brave, and just in the sense because, we've watched the Greek squad, so to speak. They're very, very aggressive. They really like to skirmish early, and with all of these runes that are now available on the map, it seems like it should lend itself pretty nicely to the high tempo that they want to play.
Yeah, for sure. That definitely a little bit. It makes those like early mid rotations a little bit more effective. But the downside is that their supports are not very good at ganking early. Rubik is better than Omni Knight, obviously, but Omni Knight is effectively useless at doing much more than just like fighting people that are already fighting him. So yeah, they can definitely be more aggressive, but this is more of a cheese-like lineup in the sense that they are aiming to death ball basically and hit this really strong timing where they are pressuring and focusing towers, and their opponents are going to try to slow that down if possible. And Timbersaw is a great hero for that, absolutely, but there are some dangerous things. Huskar does a huge amount of magic damage with Burning Spear. Gyrocopter does a huge amount of magic damage as well, so he's going to have to be at least a little careful. Not to mention that Elder Titan's also going to be reducing your magic resistance to 0. So having like Huskar and Gyro is your core pairings with the ability to just throw Spirit from basically anywhere to reduce your magic resistance is going to massively up their damage when they do get into these intense fights. So this is like one of those games where as a Timber player, you're like praying to God that you drop another Shawl from the neutral items later on, because it's going to do a huge amount to reduce the enemy team damage.
Well, that's a little bit of RNG, and unfortunately you can't plan for that, but maybe they'll be favored by the Ice Frog there. Do you think we're going to end up seeing, Huskar, before all of, well, not all of the nerfs, but before the little tuning nerf that he got, he was at a 7% win increase since the release. Yeah, he actually went up quite a bit. And, do you think we're still going to see the Ag Shard picked up, which allows him to cast while, he's got the inner fire. Yeah. Yeah, it's while disabled, and it removes the cast point too, which is one of the reasons I think it's so strong.
Yeah, that was, he didn't get that many changes really in the previous patch. You got a small strengthening buff of 0.2 per levels, which that's very small. More knockback from his inner fire, but then more importantly that you can cast a shard while you're disabled. So normally what happens is Huskar gets disabled and focused and very likely killed, but now if you can cast that spell to not only do what it did before, which is limit healing and regen by 50%, but also slow people. And now you can do it while stunned. It's like in those brief moments where you get focused, it makes buying BKB a little bit less necessary, but most importantly, you're just able to stay alive. So it absolutely is a big deal, and it's certainly a big reason why Huskar has better success right now.
Yeah, it feels almost like a better version of a duel in some senses. And also, you know, the knockback is not as big as it used to be, and they have a lot of heroes that want to play within a very close vicinity. So I think that'll end up really working in their favor. But you can see they're doing a little bit of hunting here. 4 players though. Both sides really hanging out, just seeing if they can get any vision. Hero.
I absolutely love that we get to see, like, he was been. It's not a big deal. Don't look at it. It's cool to see
Again, it's there
these
first.
bounty runes. This bounty rune situation got changed right before this big patch because we still get to see the period where people are figuring out what they want to do strategy-wise for going for runes. I just love seeing these like movements and positioning. Seems like the 5-man mid is the way to go, more or less.
Oh man, it's funny to even think that, like, once upon a time this would be considered like absolutely crazy to see the 5-man mid, but here we are now in Dota.
Got stuff to do on the map, and looks like the observer wards are not going to get dewarded. Kind of similar wards on both sides, just kind of protecting from those mid rotation points. And yeah, Huskar has to be a little bit careful about being ganked because Tiny is going to be a 4-position hero. He wants these wards to protect from Tiny rotating in because Magic Burst is certainly something Huskar fears in the early laning stage. So they're just going to protect themselves with that. I also really like the gyro pick as a result of the Snapfire because the hero just has a huge amount of armor. Snapfire ultimately ends up going to the safe lane, so it's not as bad. But you know, if the other time doesn't have his armor stacks up from his spirit, he could have some issues with that.
So how do you feel about this mid matchup here? Because you're going to be seeing the puck consistently, you know, getting disarmed every now and then, just, you know, wish really, you know, this is still a lane dominating hero, but is it going to be as dire as it used to be?
Well, Puck doesn't have very much armor. Huskar is going to have some innate regen. He can use inner fires to both nuke and harass. It should be fine, especially because some of Puck's damage has gone down, waning rifts and base damage nerfs, that kind of thing. So it'll probably be fine. And 9 is an excellent player. I watched him a lot the last series that he played doing Weatherman stuff, and pretty consistently he just seems really, really impressive in the mid lane here. They might be fighting to the death. Oh my god, Puck almost died. It was so close. Holy crap. Puck got down to like a fraction of a Puck barely jumped out in time.
Well, like you said, 9's a good player. He knows the limits of his hero and was able to get out just in the nick of time, but he's got to be very, very cautious here. Wish is going to be very aggressive.
One hit away from dying. They both were really, really low. Very close moment. Snaking's going to do his first rotation towards the mid lane. Hasn't skilled yet. Probably will go toss. A little bit more damage at level 1.
Yeah, but Wish is very aware of this. They already placed down the ward over on the side, so no smoke, of course. So it should be very easy to him. Just play it safe, back off, especially when they call out, you know, that he's not showing on the map either. So I doubt that we see a... So, you know, I say this, but he's still playing up very aggressively. Inner fire comes out, the toss back over to 9. Wish, he needs some help, he needs it fast, and it's still going to be the first blood going over to 9 as SsaSpartan's just a little bit too late with that TP.
Yeah. Omni's movement speed did get buffed here a little bit, but his cast range is still atrocious for both of his spells, so old Omni Knight would have been able to save him there, but you know, he just I think at that point he just thought that Tiny was gone or something, and got a little bit too far forward.
Ooh, we got a lot of hops though here in this top lane as they're trying to make moves on SkyLark, but I'm not sure. Yeah, they're able to kill Skiter, maybe just a little too overzealous here in this top lane.
Yeah, really good kill there to pick up SsaSpartan. SsaSpartan's armor is okay in the early laning stage here, but all the time makes it work. Getting healed back up as well. Basically the issue here in some ways is that while Snapfire third skill is really, it basically got its mana decrease. That's why it feels better to buy it, or to skill it. The damage is not really that different from what it was before, but most importantly what you need to do is you need to land a little shredder while somebody else on the team also hits that guy. And in this case,
he's a little bit off the mark there. He didn't quite get the toss he wanted, and Knight's ticking down. He actually falls.
God. Yeah, no phase shift skill here. Not uncommon for Punks right now because they want to have as much damage as possible, but yeah, that tower hit destroyed him. So big defense by Wish again.
I'm enjoying these wholesome tips coming out from the side of Brame as well. They're patting Wish on the back. Good job there, buddy.
this is one of the best things you can do against Huskar is try to kill him in the early game. But if you put pressure on a lane winner hero snowball like this and it doesn't work and he gets kills, ooh, that's not good for your win chances.
No, it's not. They're playing very far up here. They do have to be careful because there is a tiny nearby. And look at that damage coming out from SkyLark with these big old punches.
For extra punch. A massive amount of person, so.
Got his eyes on Stoneman. We'll toss right back over to Fata. Little Shredder doing that damage here, but Fata, is he gonna go? All right, they managed to kill Stoneman, but they find it return on Fata. And bottom lane, 33, he misses. I think he's all right here. I don't think they're gonna be able to nuke him down, but Spartan does have to be careful as well. Without that Heavenly Grace, and is just gonna thwack him a couple times here.
It's just an Omni Knight. What can he do? Really can't do. Okay. Well, yeah, interesting game so far. It's what's kind of interesting is like the tiny roam should be valuable, but it's dangerous against Huskar now. It's giving him some kills. Then he goes top and then gives SkyLark more damage on the other tank because he's like, oh, now there's 3 heroes here instead of there's 2. So I'll take an extra 40 bonus damage. And 3 extra armor there. So yeah, the snapbar thing doesn't work out as much if trading with that hero in that moment doesn't feel good. So as long as Elder Titan like waits to use Astral Spirit at the same time, they're just not going to be able to deal more damage. Because yes, Slark is great at trading hits with these like really tanky offlane heroes, but Elder Titan is a fighter hero. He doesn't actually farm. He wins the lane by killing people. So he's like a perfect solution for this like, oh, there's a great little window for us to slap you. He's like, all windows are good for me to slap you back. So like the Snapfire advantage here in the laning stage is just not going to feel nearly as strong.
And you can see the dominance there in the top lane as well. We've got 21 and 6 CS currently on the Elder Titan, and Slark struggling a bit. He's only got 8 and 1.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big laning disadvantage. So if Elder Titan has a bad lane as an offlane hero and he gets zoned, then he's basically screwed because he does not farm neutral creeps fast. Making sure that you win the lane as a core like this, it is absolutely mandatory. So this is going great for SkyLark. And if they do get to a point where they kill Slark another time or they force him out of the lane, then it's perfect. SkyLark can basically lane solo, continue to get golden experience, and aim towards his Aghanim Scepter or his Shard, depending on what he wants to go. Maybe or items, we'll see.
Lots of options. The world is his oyster for sure. But definitely the start that Brame wants. They want to make sure that they're playing very, very aggressive and really starting to, like you said, snowball out of control. That's their big goal, especially for Wish. We need to see this Huskar start to snowball. And he's been playing it pretty well. You know, it did have I believe, the 1 death earlier, but they were able to turn around. And again, you can see the Tiny was making his own rotation, but get the D ward, and Wish will just play very safe right now. As there are 3 heroes now migrating around here, the mid, but we'll wander right back up. They're leaving the Slark alone. How do you feel about that? Just letting him get the levels at this point? Is that all right?
It could be basically a situation where they're like, well, Snapfire's not going to do anything here to get pressure, so we should just let Slark get as many last hits as he possibly can. Zoning Elder Titan is probably not super likely. They can do this thing basically where Snapfire and Tiny roam together or independently just to potentially get solo kills. That's what they want to do, but so far they have not been successful with that. And this great observer ward here that Spartan place is going to make a big difference in this because they keep spotting both of these rookies.
Sneyking still making his way over here. You can see Spartan also joining in as well. Stoneman, there's a ping out. They see Sney. They start to collapse over onto this Tiny. SkyLark chasing after him. It's a good avalanche over on 3, but they get the lift off. But that's about all they can do here now. So do have a lot of rotation for just the one, and not much came out of it.
Their disable is not very good. No Orb of Venom on Elder Titan or anything like that just yet, which is not that weird. It can be useful to go Orb of Corrosion or whatever, but it's a little expensive. Just aiming for a wand next with this phase boost, so 3 points, and Astral Spray's getting 60 damage per hero. Getting punched by this guy is not going to feel good. Arrow got level 6. He's got a Ring of Facilities for mana. He should be doing fine here.
Looks like they get the pounce and they'll find the kill on Stoneman. SkyLark, though, is a big boy. Look at these punches. 1, 2, one more punch, and down goes the fishy. And it's looking like he might kill himself a granny, too. Unless, no, he feels merciful today. He'll respect his elders.
God, I feel a little bad that Fog doesn't get to watch this. He is the biggest Elder Titan fan, and this is like...
This is his dream.
He's doing so good, yes.
I'm sure he's watching.
I'm sure he is.
I'm sure he's poking
jealous.
he's poking his face into the chat for sure.
Definitely jealous. So yeah, everything seems to be going really, really good for Brame. Huskar hasn't been pressured yet. He's been able to pick up his Helm of Iron Will, so he's effectively unkillable, unpressurable in lane. SkyLark's having an incredible game, dwarfing SsaSpartan's last hits by an extra 10. Skiter already saying that Midas is the only way, guys, so he cancels his Treads combination and says, like, I gotta catch up somehow, otherwise there is it's gonna be a hard chance to win here.
Well, it's just so difficult for him too, because you want to keep, like, part of you wants to send the supports up top to try to support him, but again, you have an Elder Titan who loves the more bodies in the lane, the better. So, you know, it is just sort of maintain on your own, get those levels, do the best you can, and we'll try to make some pressure on other sides of the map, but they're not really finding that, it seems.
Yeah, it's really difficult to find some of these kills here. And Huskar picking up neutral items for the team, not really finding much that he particularly wants. Fairy's Trinket doesn't really do that much. That's not true, I guess. His burning spears do a lot of magic damage, 5% extra is not fair. Sneyking getting the D ward, finally realizing that the rotations had been maneuvered around, and finally with that D ward, maybe they can get some stuff done, but I can't help but feel that like they're getting under level now and miss their window a little bit here.
It feels like there's a lot of wandering around coming out from them and not enough action.
Yeah.
Which is a huge problem when, you know, you are trying to play later and you just don't have that space being made.
I like what Puck is doing right now. At least he's going to get spotted by this great Observer Ward once again, but he's got a DD and an Arcane Rune here. So if anybody does show up in the bot lane, they can absolutely get a kill here. Puck is the X factor that is going to change things, absolutely, especially with 9 at the helm. They just need to start getting some important kills on course.
Got the double damage rune. It might spot over on the side, but rest of the side of Brame has decided they don't want to be here. They're up in the corner.
SkyLark in trouble top maybe. Or he's getting a solo kill.
Yeah, top lane, they're just getting some of these stacks up, but again, he's so fast. Look at him. And just to survive.
14% movement speed from the Puros. Incredibly high. Plus the phase, like, good luck catching him. Peter uses ulti as well, so now he's got a window where maybe he can get a kill.
Well, they rotate 33 up top this time, so they're gonna try to make something happen. And they're just gonna chase after SkyLark, but he is just running around. He wants that granny, and he's gonna get it. By God, turns back around, just starts punching Skiter. Ooh, but he's in a lot of trees here. Timbersaw likes that, but one more hit down and goes Mr. Slark. And eventually 33 will be able to clean up. But they did a lot during that time. Smart in. The assistance. No, he's not gonna have it. 9 will be able to collect the kill. As Wish teleports in. We'll use the life break over onto Sneyking. He'll find that. And there's a Dream Quote getting used. Cookie Hop coming out now from Fata, and they'll be able to nuke him down. 9 will collect that kill as well.
I thought he was going to get the toggle off there before that tortured him. It was looking, his damage is so high with the R mode, but it does end up working out. You know, the game gone, Elder Titan, at least he's dead. The net worth is actually about even right now. This isn't the end of the world for them. I mean, they still have a decent amount of kills, and picking up those 2 cores is a great start to it.
I mean, it's never a good sign when you're like, well, at least they're dead and he's not putting any more pressure on them. Like, that feels really bad if you're Tundra right now. With the Elder Titan just being so powerful.
9 going for this bounty. 4G. Is that the right way to describe it? There was a lot of bounty runes, guys, and he just got mega healed.
I'm not sure that was the phrase, Perch.
No? Was that the wrong? Okay. Back to the drawing board.
Send you back to Weatherman here until you can get a better.
Bounty runes at the same time, it's crazy.
SkyLark, though, they've had enough of his nonsense. The toss up into the air. 9 getting out the waning rift, and he's still very tight. He's very swift too. He's trying to juke around here in the trees. It's gonna end up eventually getting found, but he gets to stop him. But the final hit here coming from 9 is not quite enough. He's living with 20-something hit points. He's just breaking their ankles. Look at him. He's got his dances. Oh, they finally find him. Just barely clipped by that Dark Pact.
Ulti pop, not a big ulti actually. Excuse me, it's hitting pretty much nobody here. That's a perfect voice line, I gotta say.
They'll turn back here. 33 gets murdered by Wish. There it is. There's that Guardian Angel coming in hot, but they do have some magic damage. Can they grab anyone else? Looks like they'll back off for now. But the pressure is on top.
Good job. It's exerting his Huskar force on the enemy team, basically. Like, so tanky. Gets in there, blows up Timbersaw. He had a hood, and he couldn't even tell. He just died so fast. Maybe he was low on like reactive stacks at the same time, so it was a lot of physical too, but just an impressive amount of damage.
Possible.
Tower is under attack.
No Mortimer Kiss is available now for the Snapfire, so I'm not sure they're going to be able to do a whole heck of a lot. Cookie Hop a little bit off the mark as they turn right back around again. The Stun Shotgun to Stominen. Able to collect themselves yet another kill. Now 33 needs to be careful. A few heroes up here, and he doesn't have the backup, so it's like they're just going to call this tower forfeit.
Yeah, when you have a guy like Huskar that can just tank the tower, and you have no glyph left, it's all over. So they're just going to try to slow things down as much as they can, get some space on the map. Nine trying to finish his Blink Dagger. He is close to that. And then on the other side of the map, Skiter does have his Hand of Midas, so he is going to be relatively okay. He didn't die that much in the laning stage. This will be fine for him. Not ideal, of course, but...
You don't sound convincing. He'll be fine. It's fine. Not that many deaths. It's a rough life for this Lark.
3 deaths on the board, but some of them, like, there weren't that many that were just, like, getting broken up necessarily, so it's okay. He just wants to be farther ahead than this, and as time goes on, Huskar's not going to farm that fast in comparison, like, and they pressured him a little bit. It's not like he's having a completely free game or anything.
So how do they slow this down, is my question, because Brame has all the momentum and high octane coming out from them, especially when you have something like a Huskar. And a very farmed Elder Titan.
What's basically going to start happening once they have BKB and Wish is they're going to start forcing down towers a little bit harder with Spartan sitting behind. They'll slap the Heavenly Grace on him, he's going to hit buildings, and it's going to be very difficult to deal with him when he's got BKB to cover himself as well. So, you know, try to spread out your opponents. Push in all lanes is really important when your opponents do a 5-man like this. That way there's pressure on the map coming out, basically. But it kind of looks like Brame's going to play just a little bit slower for now. Most importantly, SkyLark is still trying to farm his Zags. He's about 2 parts in, so he doesn't have a huge amount of time until it's finished. But once he gets that, then everything kind of unlocks for their whole team. They'll ideally have a BKB timing on Huskar, on Gyro, and the Ags on Elder Titan, which is effectively a BKB. And that's where things get pretty scary for Tundra, because a lot of their disabled are limited by BKB. Pocket very much so. Timbersaw doesn't do anything against BKBs. Tiny will have issues too. And as will Snapmarch. Mortimer's Kisses isn't going to feel very good against them. So some dangerous stuff going on here. But hypothetically, Skiter should be able to outfarm with a Midas on SsaSpartan, but we'll see.
He's got to make it to that point, though, where he's able to overtake that net worth. We do have a smoke, though, coming out from the 2 supports, and of course Puck, hoping maybe they can catch someone that's a little bit too far down. But SkyLark feels like there's something going on. Look at that, that Spidey sense is tingling. He throws out the skin and he says, yeah, I feel unsafe right now. So he's gonna hug his tower, lay far back, and you can see the rotation coming down here. They're hoping maybe they can, yeah, right on the face.
Yeah, a little mistake here by Tundra. They've double placed wards. We'll see if that matters. Or if somebody brings a sentry over here, it's some amazing value. We'll see.
Ooh, there it is. Just not quite on the other one, though. All right, all right.
Oh, so smart to place 2 wards there, guys.
It was all part of the plan.
Yeah, now they know. Oh yeah, we got the ward here. Why would they ever place 2 wards in this spot? There's no possible way they have vision.
That's
this could come into play later.
That's really frustrating, actually. Like, if you've ever playing in like your pub or something, like they totally have vision over here, and you think you got it, and they still have it up and running because they placed 2 down. Mental warfare.
Expects it at a high level. There's no way. There's no way they anticipate.
Next level plays. I expect to see a Weatherman segment on this, BSJ.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
If it matters.
All right.
SkyLark very close now. Point booster only is what.
Ooh, instant D-ward.
SkyLark is just a true homie, not taking a neutral item. He's like, you know what? I don't really need this arcane ring on me. You can have it.
Nice, yeah. And there's just no hope here for Sneyking. He is deleted. Focus, though, does have to be a little careful. Has SkyLark nearby, and they're scouting. Use that homing missile chasing after Fata. So they'll throw down the air splitter, the call down. Fata hopping up on top. They have the vision. They just can't quite see it, but they do cancel out the TP, so they do. A couple more hits, and down goes Grandma.
Just didn't buff our splitter enough there. I thought it was gonna explode really quickly there. Just didn't. I'm not quite ready, guys.
Yes, after that abysmal laning stage that we saw from him, clearly we need to buff him further.
He needs to be able to land his ultimate on somebody with literally no disable or setup. Then it's fair.
I mean, now it sounds like you're talking like Fog. Just buff my boy.
Of their damage, yeah. Maelstrom, almost got his BKB finish. He's going to the top lane, gets out of there just in time, despite that ward helping him out. SsaSpartan going for Diffusal Blade, gets some nice pokes in, some nice mana drain on the right heroes.
I mean, it's go time now. Yes, we don't have the Ags quite finished over on SkyLark, but we have a BKB completed for Huskar. In fact, they immediately jumped their way into this pit, and they're gonna try to secure themselves an Aegis. So carefully doesn't get bashed to death over there. Fata already running away. Tiny does have the blink dagger. We've got a double damage over here on 9, but Dominant already anticipating here. Does get silenced up. They had the avalanche. Sneyking gets taken out by Focus. As 9's poking, but look at the punches from SkyLark. It is actually absurd. We'll turn back around. Has that spirit here. That's too hard for them. Focus.
Melee hero.
Walks right. 9 walks right into Focus.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's they go right back into the pit. They have nothing to fear with Puck being down. You know, maybe you see some of these kisses, but the rest of the team is still up and running, and they've got a couple smokes still running around here on Spartan and Rubik. He just wandered into him. It was like a cat that was asleep with his paw out.
I don't know if you expect the gyrocopter carry to be there, but that was kind of a cool position, because if a fight did start, he could swing in from the side there and land a call down on the ramp, for example. So kind of a cool place for him, and he profits from it, getting that big puck kill. And that gives them the Aegis, and this allows them to get to the next phase. And they didn't even have to use their 9-second BKB charge. Very special, guys. Not a 10-second, the fresh 9-second BKB.
9-second
BKB.
BKB. He's got his own BKB that he just picked up here, so just needs to be able to pop in. He indeed does, uses the call down. He's gonna just try to kite them, run away. He's waiting for Wish to show up, even throws out the taunt. As they'll wait patiently now, Skiter, he's all out of that shadow dance. Wish jumping. Needs to try to find him over here in the corners as the trees just get cut down as they're hunting, but they're not going to be able to find anyone. They have already vacated the premises. And SkyLark, though, finds himself a Fata. Doesn't quite manage to land that stop, but he'll punch him a couple times. Doesn't have anything else, though, to go and cancel out the TP33 now. He's going to teleport out. And again, we've talked about this. They have a lack of catch coming out from the side of Brame, which is going to allow Tundra to just walk away from this bad engagement.
They should have been able to get 90, but the Rubik only lifted him, didn't use Fateful, so he gets a blink out immediately afterwards.
This is such a long missile.
It's all the way there.
It's all, yeah, it traveled some distance right there.
They do have a Halberd up on Timbersaw. This is an excellent item against Huskar. Halberd against melee heroes does not feel very good these days because a lot of people are buying SMY. Therefore, it only lasts like, what, 2.5 seconds or something around there. But against Rangers, it's 5 seconds. That's huge against a Huskar or a Gyro.
Ooh, 9. Just, oh, is he gonna get himself several couriers here? Is he gonna get that greedy? Oh, he's managing to go, he gets SkyLark's courier.
Oh, he's gonna look.
Oh, look at it. He wants it. He wants it. He knows Spartan's courier is trying to come back, but not
it was
this
just
time.
a support one, so it wouldn't have given as much.
Feels like we're watching a bounty hunter, though.
No.
And look, there's another one coming in hot. They're just feeding their couriers here to 9. Take them happily.
Actually, so much gold.
That is.
It's like 200-300 to his whole team get 3 couriers.
I don't understand how he's still allowed to just be hanging out in the jungle here after he's gone after that many.
Catch, right?
They do have terrible catch.
What do? They can like jump on him maybe, but he's got Blink Dagger, his face shift levels are decent. And he's got an Illusion Rune, so it's even easier. He's got great items right now. Pick up a Vambrace 2, Dagon 1 is up, so his first damage is there. They just need to get the combos off when they follow up tiny initiation. They should be able to burst these guys.
Well, fine Spartan, but immediately Sneyking teleporting out, knows that they've got nothing to cancel it again, so says, I've had enough here.
Back on the map.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Doing exactly what they need to be doing here on Brame, applying pressure, taking towers early. Not quite snowballing as much as we might like to see, but still realizing that, you know, now is the time. They can't afford to let this go late. Sneyking getting into position. Link up.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
In the bottom lane, Rubik and 9 having a little bit of a skirmish here. He is doing coiled up. He's trying to just get as much damage over onto this puck. And he actually is going to survive. Oh, the stop comes through. The illusory orb spawning out 9. But again, where's your catch? They need to punch him. Yeah, again, look at SkyLark. They know, though. They see him. They can't grab him in time. 9, he's too slippery. As a whole other fight breaks out over here in the mid lane. Those kisses coming in hot. And heck of a lot with those kisses. The tower goes down,
Dyer's middle
and
tower
the Aegis was
has fallen.
burnt.
Yeah, so really excellent for Tundra there. They didn't get the Rubik, but
Radiant's bottom tower
was able
is
to
under
put pressure on the other side of the map, spread things out. At the very least, like if that pressure comes and nobody goes to defend, Puck's gonna help work down your tier 2 tower, and that's gonna be what you can get out of it. Being able to force those TPs back and get the Aegis kill, that was a pretty good compromise for where they're at.
They know that there is a ward over there. Immediately the homing missile goes chasing after Sneyking. And look at this. Goes and pokes, gets the first courier, knows that there's another one over there. Finds himself the Elder Titans as well. And
Oh wow, he almost missed that Husker one. But he gets on the way back.
Yep. He's pretty happy with that. You can tell he's very happy.
Looking dead in the live game here.
Ooh, yeah.
Caught. Pretty close.
Was it gonna be close,
Right.
Burge?
It was actually in some ways because his phase shift was only level 3. If he's got 4 points there, he might have been able to blink. I didn't see the exact, but I think they did a lift and stomp at the same time.
Radiant
Okay.
are scanning.
Which is why he was disabled in the first. And they placed a Tinker Ward to help spot him when he does do the split push. Good pressure by Brame to do.
Can see some movement going top now. The donk. I like
It was a
the.
nice heads up.
The
I was
what?
gonna say what Fata did in the last fight was really good in the tier 2 mid. Turns on Lil Shorter, instantly kills the rocket. One of the best things about Snapfire is a hero on your team. There's just a lot of things now.
Ooh, this is not looking good for Sneyking as he silenced up, and another kill for Focus. Focus is 4-0 and 2 right now, Purge.
Really good for
Dyer's
sure.
top tower
With
is
laning
under
Sage,
attack.
looks like he's almost got Butterfly. Great against Slark. Good luck Slark slapping him. Even Puck too, same thing.
I mean, fish don't
Asian's
belong
great.
in the sky with Gyrocopter anyway, so. The natural order of things. Ooh, that actually works as they have an Elder Titan.
Really not a lot of fish that can fly.
Radiant's middle tower is
Mine.
under
There's a couple.
attack.
There's a couple. They're not really flying, right? But they do sail out of the rivers, I believe.
What if it's like raining? Should fish be able to get into the sky then? Is that
Well, there is water in the sky. I don't know. Purge asking
there's
the
always
hard.
moisture in the sky?
Not enough moisture though. It needs to be a saturated amount, I'm pretty sure. But SkyLark here, he runs into the puck. Puck runs into him one way or the other, but is leashed up as Mortimer kisses come out, but he's just rotating around like a little clock here on the down goes 9. Tips come out, now they're hunting. They would love to grab Fata. I don't think they're gonna be able to grab him in time though. Nope. Teleports out. Again, catch. Huge problem here for the side of Brame, but is it that big of a problem if you're still dominating this map?
I mean, the network's still pretty close, but I'm just like looking at this ET while he does the split push stuff on him, and he's actually so difficult to kill because like at any point he's gonna have a spirit out or ready to pull a spirit out. He did get multi there, but like they have to put so much effort into killing him here, and they just don't have enough disable to keep him in one place. Even if all these Mortimer's kisses hit him, he needs to be like completely hit, and Timber does a combo.
It's just a solo kill here for Focus. Throws out the whip, as it chases after him. Oh no, not quite. Not gonna be able to hide from this gyrocopter, not today.
Pick off. Yeah, I'd have to see how that started. Probably did call down from trees and then ran in with homing missile or that to get the damage in. And the lift here.
Yeah, this is gonna be a dead Fata.
Now the map pressure is feeling a little bit oppressive, but it's kind of an interesting game. Both teams have a little bit weak disable, so it's a little hard for them to get some of these like kills. But Tundra's just doing a great job pushing out side lanes. Puck cuts the mid wave to make it harder for them to commit to a tower
Radiant's
kill.
bottom
Where
tower
Huskar
is
is
under
going to
attack.
feel unkillable with the Omni behind. Skiter runs their off lane to go pressure that tier 2 tower as well. Rubik's in position though.
The lift off plus the silence. Life break comes out. This poor Slark is gonna be a dead little fishy. Does have the shadow dance. Buys him just a tiny bit of time here. He's gonna try to teleport out. Can he do it? No. Wish will be able to burn him to a crisp.
Great job stealing pounce there. Bought them a little bit extra time to get those extra right clicks in. Got him nice and low. Brumbo's amazing as well on Huskar. Just got buffed for magic resistance reduction. Perfect on Huskar. Burning Spears do so much magic damage. We'll find that up. Or life break as well, same thing. A lot of magic damage out of Huskar, really.
I have to say that Storminen has continuously just impressed me with his position 4 play. He's been a lot of fun to watch the past season, and he's continuing to just prove that he is very, very valuable.
He definitely is. Like how ET's playing itemization as well, aiming for a scythe of ice. They know they need disable. He's not farming it fast because ET obviously doesn't hit creeps quickly, which is why he's falling behind in the network. But it's the right item to get to make it easier for them to deal SsaSpartan and against the.
I assume that, you know, soon we'll have the Roche respawning. Oh, another courier sniped here by 9.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Just a teleport, but, you know, that could be important. Teleports are expensive now. Toss back here, Storminen chasing after the Sneyking. Goes right hand delivered over to Wish, but Focus will take the kill.
And instantly he TPs the bot lane, knowing that there will now be pressure on the opposite side of the map because his opponents will expect him to be on the other one. But 9 puts the wave as soon as it spawns here, not exactly where he was expecting him to be. Very smart of 9 to change this up a little bit. And this is so much easier to do now that this cliff ward isn't there. And those tier 2 towers on the Radiant side. So he can just continue playing in this area. With knowing the sentry is here, this can be a safe space. He doesn't have to worry about anybody ganking him here, and he can continue to bounce between lanes and just buy time for his team.
He's doing it very, very well, although they use a scan. They need to go and try to just slow down this puck. He's causing them a lot of headaches, cutting waves and whatnot. But over in the Roche pit, they're already going for that second Aegis here. They get a lift off over onto Skiter. Trying to make him nervous, but there it is. You're gonna grab that Aegis? Okay, there it is.
I assume that will be Huskar getting shard, but
I would assume so. That's so good on him right now. There's no reason for him not to. Yeah, it is.
The Rocket Barrage one can be really, really good. I haven't found times to justify buying it, but if it was free,
well, why not? It's just asking to be picked then, right?
But it's amazing on this card for sure. Being able to do this through being is incredible.
Yeah, that's the reveal over here of the Scythe of Ice, but SkyLark, he's just so tanky. Does have to be careful though. These Mortimer kisses, can they land the last one? Oh, he's dancing, he's dodging, he's still alive. The cookie out coming up for Fata is hoping that maybe he can go and use that scatter blast, but it's not going to happen. And now it looks like Fata will pay for this with his life.
Nice play by SkyLark. It's getting used to it. He basically just like juked him back like 4 times in a row. He's like, I'm going now. And then that happened like 5 times in a row. And every single time, just fell for it a little bit, unfortunately.
Radiant's
That
top
one more
tower
time
is
here.
under attack.
It's a great idea to throw them out, but he was ready, even by the first one. If he didn't back instantly, he would have been screwed.
It's down to 90 hit points, 60, 40, 19.
18.
Fata really wanted that kill. You could feel that desperation. Look at the smiles. Look at the giggles.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Feels good, man.
Finally, Brame is a little bit across the map here. They just did damage to this tier 2 tower for the first time in forever here. Scotty Butterfly up on Gyrocopter. Excellent hero now against heroes like Timber and SsaSpartan, eliminating the healing.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Brame is playing this draft perfectly right now. We saw that high octane play the other day when they were facing off with OG, and feels like this patch really suits them quite well. They've got a good handle on what they want to do for a draft. And these buildings are just crumbling. They still have an Aegis, they've got a cheese over on Focus. Omni just backing them up.
Huskar takes it, doesn't even have armor on. Maybe be better if he did, but and then Gyro slaps as well. Really easy. It's not just be about the Huskar, but Huskar and Gyrocopter becoming effective.
A little far, but look at SkyLark even further. Double damage over on 9. Needs to focus up. Jump forward, light break over onto Tiny. He's going to get just obliterated here as they do manage to go and then pop the Aegis. The buyback now coming out from Sneyking as these Mortimer kisses are just flying about.
Oh, he stole it.
He stole the Mortimer's kisses now. So now we have to see the perfect positioning coming out from Storminen. Although, come back around. It's just a dead Skiter almost immediately. Storminen over on the side, just throwing out these spears, focusing on the buildings.
Dire's bottom barracks.
It's not much that Tundra can really do against this right now. Look how strong Focus feels.
or he accidentally canceled it. I'm not sure what.
We only saw like one of those pop out, I believe, yeah?
I think he interrupted it himself to either cast something or he made a mistake. That might have been important to telekinesis to lift somebody from MVP.
Okay. Toss back now, and the Hex. Can they keep him alive? Yes, they can. They got the cheese. They'll turn right back around again. Fata will just get cut down. Brame still continuing here. They've got their eyes on this puck. He is so dead. No buyback on 9. No buyback still on the SkyLark. Fata having to buy back as well, but there's no Mortimer kisses. They just call the GG. Brame playing their draft exactly the way they need to. Snowballing out of control. We'll take in number 1 here, Purge.
But honestly, Tundra did an excellent job considering the game circumstances. Their lane stage did not go well. Almost all of their support rotations to try to alleviate these lane issues got spotted by great observer wards on the Brame side. And because of that, they got into this mid-game scenario where they said, we're really behind, we cannot fight, we just need to split push. And Puck did a great job on that. Sneyking did a pretty good job on that as well, but eventually Brame just got a
like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still. Hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall. Fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
There is the Storm Spirit, but don't want to face Storm. Fine.
Yeah, wow.
Amazing, yeah.
We got a Wraith King ban because Skiter does tend to play that hero a lot, and the mute buttons of my panelists work
Oh my
again,
God.
and their microphones work again as well.
I hate
That is my
sorry.
biggest fear is the hot mic.
Yeah, well,
You literally do it yourself.
Yeah.
By the way, we do hear you a little bit through my microphone, so
True.
if you're actually saying like really
Well, it's
bad
funny,
stuff, we can still hear you.
Bad, it's
Look,
just,
we mute for like when we
know.
laugh too much, we're having too much
Yeah.
fun. Sometimes, you know, people don't want to hear that, and that's why we sometimes
Never want to
mute.
hear that.
I'm surprised Tundra's sticking. Well, not sticking, I guess. They're stealing the Rubik, but I don't really think the Rubik was the reason that they had issues in that last game. I think the Elder Titan is a big problem that they should give more respect to.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing we have to see here is we've now seen ET go into the offlane, but Brame can play in support. The Beastmaster, we've seen plenty of clips where this mid Beast goes Ags, gets a free Roshan, but also SkyLark loves playing Beastmaster. So it'll be interesting what Brame's take is on.
I think you
these
swap
two
it up,
heroes.
right?
Yeah, for sure. I think you put the casual Beast offlane potentially.
Sheaves.
Well, I was just thinking you guys put so much effort
10
into
seconds
changing your
remaining.
sound box so that you could press the mute button again. Why didn't you just press the other
5
mute
seconds
button?
remaining.
Because it's like it's not natural.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to cross our hands and hold hands together.
Sheaves.
Like we knew that was a solution, but like we thought we'd go for the.
You literally, that box is loose. You can literally twist the box around.
Look, it's
Oh,
glued
yeah,
in.
that's loose.
You stick to host,
Yeah.
all right? Leave
Oh.
the thinking to your analysts.
And we think hard.
Oh yeah, I can tell. Talk to me about these bands, Kyle.
You have to look at them first, Carl.
Stop. God damn it, guys. We're supposed to be a team.
We are a
We're
team.
lifting
That's
each
why I'm
other
telling
up.
you to look so you don't
Ted
find
Lasso.
He helped you.
Yes, I'm supporting you.
All right, well, the Death
5
Prophet Gyro
seconds
bans,
remaining.
I think, make a lot of sense. That's kind of what made the ET work. It's these mixed damage, heavy team fighters. You know, when Gyro bought a BKB bottom, got ganked, basically popped it, and then ignored all enemies, you can't allow that. And there's no real counterplay to it, because if you extend the game, it's never like the game, it doesn't get any easier for you, because ET is so powerful in the late game.
What stops Brame right now if Tundra don't ban Husker?
Radiant
Just picking
Running it back,
casual support into then last pick in the second phase, another Husker type hero.
I'm down.
Because like when you see ET Beastmaster, these are heroes that really kind of prop up any of the kind of the cheesier heroes, right?
They're in the star formation, they're very much the front line.
Yes,
But
we
they
will
also
be
provide a ton of
10
amplification.
seconds
we will be
remaining.
doing some graphics for this, but people who don't understand, haven't been watching me and Carl on panels before. We do
5
have a
seconds
formation
remaining.
system for certain lineups where you have front line, you have back line
Who's
damage.
making the graphics?
We will again. It's in the pipes. It's in the works.
Okay, this is
But we will
this is
be
a
doing-
you
Who will
thing
make
that I'll
it?
take credit for.
Okay, sure. Okay, I'll be doing it so we can put it on stream, and me and Kyle can then talk to you about the formations. As much as I'm kind of half memeing here, it's actually a really
Yeah,
important thing.
I think it's something that you don't really. It's hard to explain. You're right, but I know that when you think of drafts from a player perspective, and when people actually look at how to take fights, it's something that teams are discussing. Who is going to be face checking the enemy if desired? There's scenarios where it's like, well, if we don't get this guy, we can't take the fight.
Oracle is the most
5
important
seconds
or most
remaining.
obvious example. Someone's got to jump the Oracle to make sure that the fight can actually happen.
exactly.
Who does it? Who goes there? Who helps the damage?
And then
etc.,
the
etc.
solo strategy we've seen many times that a lot of other teams have adopted is
No matter the hero, he's the one going in.
the 5 positions like can suddenly be that frontliner because he has the buyback being held. And when the fight is important enough, I think it's a very viable strategy. But buyback's also so cheap; it's really
Yeah.
just a respawn cooldown.
So for Tundra right now, my big fear is simply their presence on the map. They have even more now. They
Dude,
have
they
they have a lot of heroes that exist, but it's the Abaddon carry or some mid-tide situation right now.
Yeah, can you?
Yeah.
You can't Huskar into Wyvern though, can you?
Why?
I always remember there being a super high win rate for Wyvern
What,
against
because of-
Huskar because of the
10
percent damage on
seconds
Q. You
remaining.
can't armlet
Sure.
toggle, and the Wyvern ulti kind of just, you know,
The
just ult.
Yeah.
caveat to that is Wyvern ult now is 2.5 seconds if no other hero is within the ultimate. So the whole idea of Wyvern being able to do solo damage is now gone.
What if Wyvern just straight up dies to the Skywrath?
That's true. That's a very
That
good
is
point.
also very possible. And also, with the Skywrath Mage, your
good point.
your ice Your E, whatever the E is called.
Cold Embrace.
Cold Embrace is going to be useless because you're going to just get a flare in your head. You're dead.
I want to see that.
Oh, PL.
Was nerfed a bit, but very solid. Another hero that loves playing with heroes like Beastmaster ET, protects the Skywrath.
I feel like Brame is such an aggressive team. We've highlighted that now, plenty of times. Tundra, they've gone for like the most passive lineup around, where they'll just sit in their lanes and like they kind of was emulating in game 1 as well. Well, they'll happily react to a play, but when they make plays, they're so weak in open.
This is the TI, was it 7 EG, where they just were picking these incredibly passive, slow drafts, and they just lost.
But they were playing a TI.
And what is that? A shot, Sheaves?
No, but that's something good. So with that strategy, you might be able to make it to TI.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So
if you play Wyvern Tide, you're just really reliant on these big ultimates. But as you said, it's very slow. All these heroes, they just kind of walk at you.
But yeah, this does kind of align with the meta of how the mid lane does focus. I keep saying this. The idea that mid lane, you don't really need to put anything else there. You just put a greedy hero, farms up a lot of the map, and that's it. You don't have to make plays into mid because you can just focus on side lanes, river runes. It's so easy. Everyone just buys bottom when it exists. There is punishment for that, but Tundra, they're going to be happy in their side lanes. It reminds me of the first game of Team Board, where they had like Necro Brewmaster off lane.
Ooh, is that a good thing?
No, Necro Void Spirit, of course not. But it's the double off lane with active mid.
Yeah. They need an active mid. We'll see. Because last game, Brame obviously was the team that made the most moves. So maybe this works for them, because Tundra, all they need is to just sit back and wait for Brame to run at them. But at the same time, I think the PL pick, for that reason, you don't want to sit back, but they kind of have to still.
I want to see Abaddon carry. Abaddon carry right now.
I mean, you kind of have to. It's going to be a core. Otherwise, who is going to be your core? It's going to be...
They could easily make this funky, but I want to see in the 1 position, Abaddon go for Radiant.
Yeah.
And he can just get the ball rolling in front line. He happily will tank a Roar, happily tank some Sky spells, and he doesn't care about ET, right? Because he's always going to have that second life through his ultimate.
But don't you just, at a point, lose to Phantom Lancer? That's the big concern I have.
Even with the nerf, you still...
Yeah.
Phantom Lancer is going to be the strongest hero in the from the 10 in the game?
After like 3rd or 4th item, I'd say yeah. I just don't think you can clear illusions fast.
It depends though.
And the supports are just kind of fodder.
They still have last pick though for Tundra, right? So if Brame reveal everything with this final pick, and then suddenly Tundra gets to pick a strong mid, and they have this early timing of Abaddon with some Radiance type situation, I could see them outpacing PL. PLs, even in the OG series where they win, they had a 20-minute window where they were very weak.
But
right?
Beastmaster, like ET, these heroes aren't exactly ones you are looking to push into, and you're still going to be able to
just trying to find some things for them, Kyle. I like Brame's draft a lot.
I love the bans. That's the thing, is to your point, I think Tundra's last pick that brings the draft together is something that has low cooldown disable and can deal with PL illusions late
4 seconds, Kyle.
Emberlesh are ideal at that, and they're both gone.
Jen.
Bang.
Was not expecting that.
Crikey.
That is
that now just a
mid-sky,
mid-sky,
maybe?
yeah.
It's a pretty sick
No, it
game
could be mid Beastmaster. It's been very popular.
Oh yeah, so like Chen 5, mid Beast, offlane ET, Skyfall. Yeah. That checks out.
I think that's more like, I think SkyLark is gonna play the ET again. Yeah. Sven coming.
That's perfect. It was buffed in the last patch, and in addition, it is quite nice to deal with the PL and the Chen.
Mid Rubik.
Mid Rubik. Wow, you're right.
If you get Beastmaster, we steal your spell and we can roleplay Beastmaster.
Yeah, might as well.
And now they have Sven to deal with PO, so they have a way to actually get through the game on that front.
Rubik's Ace?
What are you on about, Chief?
Nothing, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the idea that Brame have doubled down on what Brame do well, which is laning pressure and early entry into the game. Sven is a hero that takes a little bit more time to find farm, and PL mirrors that as well. So I think,
Top lane's going to be a disaster. ET Skywrath, they're just going to blast Skiter off the map. I like the lineup for Tundra, but the Sven needs to have a good game, like a very good game. He is effectively all of their damage.
Don't you think that ET Skywrath is going to be on the off lane though?
Yeah.
Bot lane. Thank you.
What?
You said top lane.
I said off lane.
You said top lane.
Ooh.
Watch the
drama on the panel. Which lane is the off lane? Die or Radiant, Kyle?
She's.
I'm just trying to be a
Sorry,
it's not my choice.
It's because I had to feel, because you guys can't put on your microphone.
Sorry, again, I'm just trying to be...
Please, who's going to take this game?
I don't know. No, I think Brame. I like how Brame played game 1. They're very aggressive, and if they can shut out the Sven in laning phase, PL should have a decent time with item advantage.
Yeah, I think it's just a much easier game for them to play. To your point, it's Brame's wheelhouse, and yeah, I just don't know how Skiter gets a game. You can't try lane with like a bad
Jungle, mate. The jungle's pretty broken, unfortunately. Still didn't really get touched too much, so Sven's gonna hit the jungle a lot.
So it's a lot on Sven not losing the lane too hard, and if he does, he'll have to catch up in the jungle.
Lose the jungle.
He needs to be. I want him to have a mask of madness before he rotates out of lane. I don't think that'll be the case because he's gonna get spanked.
So he needs his mom for support in this game.
Yes, everybody needs a mom, and also call your mom. Don't forget. Grandparents too.
Yeah, any caretaker. It's always good to show your appreciation. I'm gonna show my appreciation. I'm very appreciative. Ox and Purge saved me from this panel.
Don't worry, Sheever, we'll save you. Oh my goodness, it's nice to work with the proper analyst over here, Purge. But you really like Nine, right? Nine's an excellent player. He did a great job in the last game trying to prolong it. Is his Rubik going to be strong enough, though, to make the space necessary so that way Skiter can, you know, get the items that he needs to survive here?
I am certainly on paper as being a Rubik mid hater. I don't think it's like extremely bad, but I think it's bad or weak. But if they have something in mind, like Tigo pointed out, if he can get Ags and steal the wild axes from Beastmaster, that would be excellent. Because not only does Rubik have more cast range from Arcane Supremacy, he also has more spell amp. So like it's genuinely like if it's broken on Beastmaster, it's broken with 26% more damage than it did there. So yeah, that could be insane, absolutely. But past that, it has issues, especially against a PL. He cannot well defend himself against a swarm of illusions that run him down, and that is where Rubik core has problems. So I'm not sold on it yet, but I'm very curious to see how what Tundra does to try to deal with the PL problem.
I think it's going to be very scary as well. They had mentioned the fact that the dynamic duo of course, an Elder Titan and a Skywrath Mage is going to make a lot of problems, and their lane popped off last time.
It was really strong. Maybe it won't be quite the same. They'll have Warcry at least to amplify their armor a huge amount in these moments where they do trade, but so.
Is any okay? I was waiting for someone to pick up the rune. They all just Delta split and were leaving it there for a moment.
They got 3 bounty runes. But yeah, against a Fata, you can mitigate some damage with Aphotic Shield. And against Warcry, once they get level 2 and onward for Sven, they should be able to do semi-okay against Elder Titan. And the other important thing is that they have a stun now. Last match, it was a Snapfire and a SsaSpartan. They can't stop him from hitting them, but now they can throw Stormhammer and just walk away.
That is the hope, at the very, very least, coming out here. But will be an annoying lane for them to play against either way. And how do you anticipate this mid matchup going?
It's probably going to be fine for Rubik. If Axes did physical damage, I'd be more worried for him, but 9 right off the bat is going to do fine. He's got pretty solid damage talents right now. Fade Bolt, Bullet Throws, Hero Damage can be very effective against opponents eventually when they get there, but laning-wise, he's going to be fine, basically. Beastmaster's not really going to pressure him. If he gets a lot of 4 levels, then it's scarier, but if he's just doing like Axe stuff, then Rubik can be absolutely okay.
Good to know. And already in the bottom lane, they're throwing out some of that harass. You can see Fata's already tried to mitigate some of this, but a very annoying lane to play against either way. And we saw SkyLark had a great game last time. Spartan is trying to put out the harass, of course, in the top lane. There's not much that he's going to be able to do really against 33, but perhaps they can make some plays on Sneyking.
This is one way that they can actually mitigate the PL a little bit, because Anchor Smash is just such a good harassment tool. As is Splinter Blast. He dodges the first one though with Doppelganger, but B3 is gonna not have to worry too much about damage here for quite a while, and now they can even do an Arctic on both these guys.
Now Spartan has to be very careful here. He doesn't have a pathway through. He's gonna try to make his own though, cuts it through using that Tango, but definitely has to be careful about his positioning.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how he performs here with Chen. He does end up getting some divine favor. Chen has been adjusted a little bit into how some of his skills work, but you know, heal amplification seems to be pretty good right now. Maybe that's more like block it, fully lock it talking, that's popular a little bit, but lots of fighting.
Fairy Fire. He's trying to get over at the last second of 33. Drawing the first blood on Spartan.
Did a Tango block there, which or an Ironwood Tree block, which almost helped out, but it's like for now, Spartan's just gonna be microing this insane heal. 15 every half second. Watch out.
Bottom lane, you just keep seeing that aphotic shield getting placed there on Skiter. A little bit of a dive here coming out from 9. Just poking away over here at Wish. 3-minute runes are coming up, so he's going to be able to toss him back and go secure himself a nice, juicy rune here. Plus the body blocks. 9 might have got a little bit too cheeky here, though. They've got enough damage, so he ends up dying for the bounty rune. I'm not quite sure that was worth it.
I don't really see supports rotate for the bounty rune on their side of the map very often, but if that worked, it would have been a good play. I mean, it's a big gold swing if you can get out of it, but good attempt with the TP, but now that he died, teleport, now he's got to walk back to lane, doesn't have roots hit. That was pretty...
Ooh, that's definitely not worth it, actually. Forgot about the walk of shame.
The walk of shame is always a big problem. Tidehunter, one of the best offlane heroes for dealing with this like stack small camp. He really doesn't care. He's like, thanks for the farm suckers, and he just gets over here and clears it. So as long as he updates himself here, it's gonna. SsaSpartan's doing a great job last game, but
You see the way that he's trying so hard with his little creep too.
he knew he wasn't gonna be able to last hit that, so he's like, let's just get this shit over with. He hits it once and walks away. Like, I got stuff to do.
To teleporting right back here to this bottom lane to provide the support to Skiter.
Gone for great cleave, no Warcry just yet, so not as worried about dying to Eldertine. Keep in mind how it went last game. SkyLark obviously had lots of kills, which was very strong and good for him, but afterwards, SkyLark did not farm that many creeps, so they just don't let him go out of control on the laning stage, and they play the game kind of slow like they did last game. They should eventually make Eldertine feel less strong. See?
Mid lane.
One other thing that's kind of interesting as well is that Sven just got a new talent at 15 plus 25% great cleave damage. This is the game for that because he's so we'll see if that ends up being helpful. I assume you will.
I feel like you've got to when you've got this many illusions. I mean, you've got a little bit of illusion clear, right? You've got the Fade Bolt, you've got the Splinter Blast, but oh, they're really chasing after things. It looks like they'll turn back around though. And focus up Sneyking just a little bit. Not quite enough damage, though, to take either one of them down just yet.
And they want Orb of Corrosion as well and Tide just to get as much minus armor as possible when they pass here. Kind of cool to see.
He's struggling a little bit with that. Gosh, look at the anchor smash. This is not looking good for Focus. I think he's going one more hit. Can they get there? Is he going to be able to get that in time? No. Focus will survive with 60-something hit points. Perhaps they can turn this around over here on Sneyking. Much mana left. They've got the Ghost Creep trying to put out some harass.
This is cool how 3-3's pivoting is built. He's got 2 points in Kraken Shell. We basically don't see this anymore because it's just not that good to max out. Usually it's better to go Anchor Smash, but against all these Chen creeps and against a PL, damage block is amazing at limiting the amount of damage that they are dealing to you. So kind of cool to see the pivot. It's going to allow him to sit in this lane and basically just not be pressured here.
Man, Fata is just doing the job of a support 100%, keeping Skiter alive, making sure that he can heal him up constantly. It's rough, but if you notice over in the mid lane, looks like Wish has had to walk all the way back home. 9 will be able to secure himself that invis rune, does have those axes as expected.
It's kind of crazy how well these synergize. Combo.
Sneyking turning back around. They're hoping to play over onto SkyLark. He's just chasing down Skiter though. He's got these big old punches. They need just maybe one more hit, but they're kiting so well. Stomp coming through. Not going to be able to land on anyone. And Skiter's still alive. That aphotic shield keeping him nice and healthy along with the Mist Coil. SkyLark trying to do what he can. He's trying to stay alive. And he is tanky, but with this many people here, I'm not sure it's going to be enough. He's making so much space. They're chasing him for such a long time, and they're just not going to be able to catch him. He's too fast. Look at him go.
The person with boots is the Wyvern, so very difficult to run him down. But on the bright side, nobody died. Skiter is very close to his massive menace, the item that Kyle did not expect him to get. He's almost got a baby 200 gold to go. And then the most important thing is that by getting this so quickly, it's going to allow him to go farm somewhere where Elder Titan is not, and therefore the whole advantage of Elder Titan that he wins the lane is more nullified because you just pick a hero that can jungle instead of lane. Something SsaSpartan couldn't do very well last game.
That is
true. To someone like Sven.
So does this still, you know, obviously it's great if you can get some sort of an advantage early on, if you can get some kills on the Elder Titan. Is it still going to work out for them though for that early timing that they're aiming for?
I mean, the timing's going to be delayed because he's not getting these free kills. And Sven has equal, slightly more last hits than Elder does. So if we compare it to last game, it's going to be very different in terms of game
Dire's
impact.
middle tower
Because
is
what
under
basically
attack.
happens is when carry leaves the lane like this, you need somebody to go follow him, to go limit his acceleration in the jungle, or to pressure him if he does end up getting low. But now that he's picked up Possess Mask and he has Mask of Manus, like, he's just going to jungle for a long time now. If who's going to rotate on him? It's not going to be Skyreth. Skyreth can't kill him solo until he gets, like, a couple more levels. So this is looking great for Tundra right now with Sven having this good.
Nine gets silenced the roar. Let's hold him into place. As Focus will be able to collect himself that kill. So down goes the Rubik.
There's one of the weaknesses of the hero. If you are the guy that gets gone on, you are not going to survive as much as more typical mid heroes. So he is queuing up Axe though, so that's going to be the plan. It's all about wild axes for him in this game, and that is certainly a place where he can seem really incredible compared to a typical normal mid Rubik. So this could be like the one situation that is going to make mid Rubik.
I think he's got to
Radiant's
stay
middle
alive
tower
though
is
and
under
make
attack.
sure that he can get it with good timing. Otherwise, it is going to be a bit of a challenge.
You're right, but once he gets it, he's going to stand really far back in the team play. Like if we look at the wild axis cast range on Beastmaster, it's already huge.
It is wild,
It's
yes.
huge. And you're going to add like 250 range on top of that. So yeah, as long as he stays at the back of the fight, it's going to be a great way to deal with PL as well. Magic damage. It does not physical. So even though PL has super high armor, he's going to be able to just consistently do a lot of damage. Those PL illusions and whoever else he's harassing. So this can
Dire's
definitely work.
middle
I'm
tower
pretty
is
hopeful
under
for it.
attack.
You're hopeful for it. You were admittedly like saying that you're not a big fan of the Rubik mid here. So that's a pretty big deal.
It can work here though. The Axis is definitely really good. And Beastmaster levels it early, so
Dire's top
easy
tower
solution.
is under
If
attack.
you can steal it.
Boom indeed. Well, some pressure being placed on the
Dire's
bottom tower,
structures are
but
fortified.
it's like 33 feeling very, very comfortable. There's not a whole heck of a lot that they can do over on the side of Brame to deal with this Tidehunter, as Spartan was trying to just, you know, get some experience here, get a little gold, but is forced to teleport away.
Radiant's middle
Now worth
tower
ravaging
is
just for
under
the
attack.
fun.
But they do find the kill on Fata and that bottom lane. So that's
Very
gonna
versatile for sure.
give a little bit more breathing room here for SkyLark as he's able to go hit the creeps and continue to just push in the wave on bottom. I'm surprised that, I guess Wish is still, you know, he's working on that axe, so that's the more important thing, but I'm surprised that you don't see them, you know, trying to force the tower down as well, because you know that that Sven's going to be in the jungle, and he's going to be trying to just farm up.
So this is one of the other areas that Eldertine suffers because he doesn't have good
Dire's top
AoE.
tower is
Normally
under
we do when
attack.
somebody leaves the lane is you cut the creep wave or kill the
Radiant's
creep wave
bottom
really
tower
fast. He
is
can't
under
do that.
attack.
So it's going to take longer for him to naturally kill the tower
Dire's
here.
top tower has been denied.
Deny over the top lane, but Dominant is going to get ganked by 4 heroes on the side of Tundra, so
Just blocked the camp, which is kind of good. Sven just got blocked for bonus strength damage, or bonus damage from God Strength, so that's kind of nice. Getting a little kill there. But he's been doing his best to try to slow this down. Before blocking this camp with the sentry, the Skyreth mage blocked the other medium camp that was in the jungle, the south a little bit. So he's trying to slow down Sven a little bit because he knows he's not going to be able to kill him solo. At least he can like decrease some of
Radiant's
his farm
bottom
speed
tower
and
is
force him
under
in the lane
attack.
where Eldertine is. But again, LWT is not going to accelerate that fast. In fact, his build is completely different this game. He's going for a Meteor Hammer instead.
oh,
So one of
okay.
the items that gives solution to heroes that don't have AoE. You buy it because it's going to allow you to push creep waves and pressure towers more so than you were before. So because he knows he's not going to win lanes here, he needs a way to affect the game positively, and this is one way to do that.
Getting very close to that Agnum Scepter over on Wish. Just needs one more component. But I'm sure, you know, Nine's going to be looking forward to that as well. He is not quite as far here for the Agnum Scepter, but it is inevitably coming. I'm surprised we're not seeing more stacks coming out for the Sven, because you can see that Wish, you know, he's taking care of his own jungle. He's got a couple of little stacks going on with the Ancients. Yeah, look at that, 5. Okay, so there's some stacks. I missed seeing the Rubik do some of them.
The thing is, he already cleared his whole jungle multiple
Dire's
times.
middle
Is
tower is
the
under
difference
attack.
maker. And also, if Fata goes and stacks
Dire's
for him in his
structures
lane,
are
then
fortified.
Fata doesn't get levels anymore.
Right.
So Fata's been basically living in this lane, getting all this free experience until he gets punched here by SkyLark.
Dire's
But
middle tower
he
is
wants to
under
catch these
attack.
free levels. If Sven goes to jungle early, this is a great way to spend it. So that's why there aren't as many stacks.
Radiant structures are
Looks like they're going to get their
fortified.
second tower here over on the side of Tundra. So it's 2 towers down now on the side of Brame. SkyLark punching Fata, doing those things that older Titans like to do. He has to be careful though because the teleports are coming out. There's Varena's procs, and you can see 33 making his way down bottom, trying to protect this tower, keep it alive, as he's already done the damage to the tower in the top lane and the mid.
Got the wrong tree. Otherwise, he maybe would have been able to pressure there, but the fact they got the mid tower for that simple was... With that said, though, there's a goal to
Radiant
Brame
are
has almost
scanning.
2k up on their opponents, and with Skiter having 7 here, getting a kill with Beastmaster is really likely, especially because Ancient Seals amplify magic damage by 30%. That's going to mean these axes are scary.
Sneyking does get spotted. It's a nice stomp though from the Centaur. They immediately jump forward. They've got the roar. They want to just blow up 9, and they'll be able to do it. But the Nice Winter's Curse coming in will be able to take down SsaSpartan. Now Focus chasing after Skiter. He's got no mana left. He's trying to run. They still have that one Centaur creep, but there's just this army of Catmen just chasing him down. And oh no, Purge. They steal the stack as well.
Wish very happy to see this. Boy, does he clear fast. Holy crap. But great team fight for them. They get the mid player, the Rubik, and they grab Sven. And that was even with the haste rune on Rubik. They kind of played that aggressive and dangerous, though. I think they were feeling confident. Because, like, that Centaur did break smoke, and I think Tundra noticed that. But they still played up, trying to wait for something to break. That way they could haste away with that Centaur stomp. The fact that they let it hit them was a pretty big mistake for 9 and limited their ability to fight there.
I mean, they waffled with it a little bit. Like, if you go back and you look, it looks like the Centaur, like, it spots them, and then it feels like it's going to turn around again. So maybe they thought, okay, they weren't prepared to see that many heroes. It was only, you know, 2 heroes possibly, but they weren't expecting the third. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I think they just were hoping to break smoke and take a fight there, and they're feeling confident about it, but the stomp set up the other disables, and it was just way too much to deal with.
You can actually see it. The Centaur just runs right at them.
Radiant's bottom
Guess not,
tower
yeah, they
is
use the
under
roar,
attack.
the blow up 9. That was such a good curse, so, you know, Spartan does go down, but all of a sudden Focus is here, and he's highly focused on Skiter. He's got absolutely no mana to do anything, so.
Are scanning.
Maybe Skiter could have fought there, but it kind of looked like he could have escaped, so I don't blame him for trying to run. He he wasn't quite ready to fight the PL yet, so. But the Diffusal just dealt with him so easy. That sounds, or the slow, sorry, was massive.
You know,
Right, and SkyLark goes back to Axe instead. No more Meteor Hammer. Meteor Hammer would have been probably iffy.
just a second ago, it sounded like you really liked that idea and the adjustment.
Just explaining the concept. You know, providing Meteor Hammer on heroes that don't have AoE is really good. Treant Protector really benefits from it. I've been known to buy Meteor Hammer on heroes that I'm trying to make work as cores. It's true.
Radiant's bottom
Purge
tower
ruining your
is
pups
under
by buying
attack.
Meteor Hammer on every single hero. Shake my head, Purge.
Only heroes that don't have AoE, and there's a lot of heroes that have AoE now, okay? Being added to shards and things like that. Decay just got buffed to do double damage to creeps on Undying, so he can be more core-like if he wants to,
It's true.
etc.
Radiant's
People have said
bottom
they
tower
think Undying is going to be the next offlaner.
I don't know about that. You still need a lot of mana to cast Decay on creep waves. I get caught here with the smoke moving to the jungle. It doesn't find him.
Immediately Focus just shredding through all of that mana. And, you know, they do get the Splinter Blast off, but this is not looking good for 33. And he is very tanky, but Wild Axe is getting thrown out here by Wish. It's a lot of people on the other side of the river. I'm not quite sure about this. Stomp gets thrown out here. Focus, he wants it so bad. There it is, the Mystic Flare coming up with a beautiful stuff. Landing over onto 2 of them. The Winter's Curse comes out, though. Buys him just a little bit more time, but look at SkyLark. He wants 9. He's just punching his way to victory over here. Fata's going to be next to fall. And Brame is just running at the side of Tundra as we'll turn back around and just focus on the objectives.
Yeah, they're just not ready to fight it. And this is, again, one of the weaknesses of a Rubik. If the enemy team is running you down, you are going to have a really bad time because as a Rubik, you cannot slow this down very fast. Very difficult to stop them from continuing to running you. You need to play the outskirts of the fight like a support can. But first of all, they drain all the mana on Tidehunter with the Diffusal Blade. He's basically out of the fight. In fact, he doesn't have a soul word you can maybe criticize here. He's got the mana talent, but it basically takes him out of the whole fight. And now because there's no Ravage to impede some of the progress, it's basically Winter's Curse is the only ability, but it's really hard to use against PL. He ends up getting killed to burst damage, great stomp on the backline, lowering their magic resist even farther. And then SkyLark gets his first slaps of the game, basically. Kill 9 and prevent him from doing a whole lot. Great skill usage and great rundown by Brame here. 5k gold advantage now in the live match. What a great framing. much better play than camera framing. As SsaSpartan
You can still see his joy, though. That's all that matters. You can see his face too. A lot of the players, you can't even see that. So I mean, I think Fata just turned his camera off, for God's sakes.
Mech is ready to go on Shen. No sign of a shard yet, just there. How's Rubik doing? About 1,200 gold away from his eggs, but again, he's 0-4-1 right now. His KDA is not great, and this is a Rubik problem, in my opinion. You can blame his.
It's not even your opinion, Kurt. It's just it's a problem.
Another shell picked up for the Dire team if they need to use that later on against overall main magic damage. But on the bright side, the one thing going well for Tundra is Sven. His net worth is high. Not as high as Beastmasters, but still pretty darn up there.
I feel like 9 right now is just a liability. Like, it doesn't feel as good. Yes, Skiter's been doing a great job. He's farming up. He's, doing the best that he can, considering that there's a lot of pressure on the map. But when you have a mid that doesn't have an impact, it's a lot scarier.
Normally, I would absolutely 1000% agree with you, but I think that the potential abuse of Ags with Rubik Arcane Supremacy is very powerful. So, if they get to a position where Sven and Ty can frontline adequately, you can continue throwing axes like 6 times in a fight, then things can absolutely change. That's the only, but if not for this like potential like wild axes cheese stuff that he's trying to do here, I would feel like this game is over.
All right. Well, some pressure being placed over here in the Roche. You've got the 2 Wild Wings throwing out the dual tornadoes, but
He's got Arcane Rune, by the way, so this is just going to be done really quickly. 26 stacks of axes here.
Now they do have to be very aware of the fact that Tidehunter does have a blink now, so they have to be careful, but already Wish will grab up that Aegis. Things are looking good, Brame. They've got their pedal down to the floor, they're going full tilt, and they have no intent of slowing down at all, it seems.
They do not, and now they've got Sanj Kaya on Beastmaster as well, so even more Spell Amber coming out for him, which is just gonna meet his damages even higher in these team fights. He's doing a great job. 0-0-7 on Beastmaster, top net worth in the game. It is kind of incredible, and they just nerfed Wild Axes with the Ags too. It does a little bit less damage than it a couple days ago, so
clearly not
very,
enough.
very good.
Not enough.
Maybe. I mean, he's got some crucial kills. It's not like he's not just done this without hitting heroes,
Right. Sure. Still seems very, very strong. The same thing with Phantom Lancer. We had a couple little nerfs, but he's still just very good.
Sorry, was that a misplay?
Yeah, sounds like it. He's just flexing on them a little bit. Gonna have the Divine Favor Shard though soon, where you can cast it on allies and teleport them back home.
Yeah, that'll be effective against people that get caught out of position, or somebody that's Winter's Cursed. You might be able to see. It's a 6-second delay, so it's pretty. But definitely has been powerful in the history of Dota 2. Usually, it's like somebody gets doomed, you instantly send them back to base, kind of a thing.
Right.
And then they teleport back to the fight with a BOT.
Radiant's bottom
No
tower
BOTs just
is
yet.
under attack.
Yet to see a good Ravage here fight, but I'm sure they're waiting for Skiter to finish up the BKB, and then it's gonna be go time. But you can see the way that Brame is just constantly, going after objectives, really trying to push around the map. But smoke coming out from the side of Tundra now. It's like they're gonna try to force them out of their jungle if they get a good engagement. Positioning though, they ping it
Radiant's
out.
bottom tower is under
Now
attack.
something is up. This is not feeling super great. They feel a bit split right now. So look at the jump over onto SsaSpartan. He's usually the one that they jump on first, but the roar followed up here from Wish. Plus it's not beautiful. Just Winter's Curse over on the back lines, but they don't do any damage to him at all now. As again, the Ravage is going to come out. Fata trying to run away. Nice Earth Splitter getting tossed in the middle as they do finally take down Spartan, but they're going to be able to take down 33 and Fata. Focus running away from the Axis here from 9. Like you said, they do a lot of damage. They'll find the kill on the Phantom Lancer, but SkyLark, he's hungry, he's searching, and they'll be able to slow down 9 a little bit. These Axes doing quite a bit. Stolen, he wants this kill though, and they'll be able to murder each other, and a bit of a trade.
Ryan got 700 gold from that kill. That was a mega streak for the Skywrath Mage. But ultimately, not a good fight for Tundra. I mean, things were about even in terms of
Radiant's
experience and
bottom
gold
tower
change,
is
but
under attack.
the fight felt weird to me. I mean, they basically started with some great damage on the Chen, but they didn't kill him before the Stomp comes out. The Stomp caught Abaddon. Abaddon's forced to use Borrowed Time early just to remove the stun that landed on Skiter here. Take a look at this, gets a couple slaps in. The stomp is amazing, catches the back line while the roar comes out. He has to pop ulti just to remove this, but then the Winner's Curse buys time for the Elder Titan and Skiter. I think making a crucial mistake here. He slapped the Elder Titan 2 or 3 times, realized, oh shit, he's got 30 armor. I can't do any damage. And because of that mistake, Chen dies a little bit slower. Maybe he could have killed Skywrath Mage instead, for example. Oh, I didn't realize he killed Peel. That was huge.
Yeah, those axes coming in clutch. And then 9 here installment. And look, he even goes and he uses his Glimmer Cape. He's trying so hard. He wants this kill. And it's already, you know, the shots are sent out, but they do end up holding each other to the death.
All right, well, not as bad for 9. He's on the board 2-5 and 2. They're still up 8K, but the fact that he cleaned up the PL is massive. Gives them multiple solutions against PL this game. They've got the axes, they've got Anchor Smash to lower damage, and they have Sven's cleave damage.
Well, the other problem is, though, they've already used all their ultimates. They're on cooldown over here on the side of Tundra, and Brame, they're ready to fight yet again. Look at them just running. A little bit of a dive here on the tower. Wish throwing out those axes is able to keep a decent amount of distance, but they do manage to find Spartan again. He's just a little bit too far forward here, so despite the hand of God, he is going to fall. And now Skiter has used that BKB. He's hoping perhaps they can get something else, but they've got their eyes on Wish. This is not looking very good for him right now. They don't really have the best save, so the Aegis is going to get burned. You can see Focus still standing on the high ground. They're going to be able to support him should they try to go up here. It's flying everywhere. It's just all over the map.
Which ones are which? Get some cosmetics for these, please.
Ooh, they're building them up. SkyLark very forward here, looking for a couple of punches over to Skiter. Oh, but it's a good Witcher's Curse. It buys them just a little bit more time. And again, these axes are just flying left and right. They want to catch anything. The Ravage comes out. Fata goes down. Sneyking turning his attention now over to Dominant, but over on the backline, Sneyking, he will go down. 9 also to fall. These axes just flying, plus all the magic spells coming out from Skywrath, as they'll eventually win this fight inside of Brame.
And that all came down to Aegis, really.
Look at those axes.
By
Oh my God.
Tundra going, I mean, the axe damage was like that was so weird. Both tiers basically are equally as strong in axe damage, but both teams have to play around it. It's so bizarre to watch. But they had to wait for the perfect Ravage, but unfortunately there's no BKB left. At that point, Sven's ulti was probably gone or low, so it was hard for them to fully commit to that. They got the Wish kill initially, but he had Aegis, so they didn't get an easy follow-up there to guarantee the team fight. I mean, I guess Blade Mail doesn't really work against Beastmaster that well, because he's still wrecking you guys anyways, but BKB, I guess, because he can't access won't go through Magic Immunity, but it's
I mean,
hard
they
to
had
force
the
fights.
BKB. They had it on Skiter, but it ran out of duration, especially on the second life. Like, this Beastmaster's just so tanky. He's difficult to kill. He's difficult to pin down.
They can deal with him for sure. He's bought a lot of items that make his axes better. He doesn't have much defensively. Like when he got Gush, that was significant. -6 armor while Sven is hitting. It was a lot of damage, but they're not quite to a position just yet where they feel comfortable to take long fights. They basically have to ignore Elder Titan in these engagements. They have to play around and kill the supports, and they have to not get mercy. It's a dangerous dance and very, very difficult to do.
It's definitely a dance is a good way to put it, especially watching those axes flying around and everyone circling each other. But they are considering the fact that, you know, hey, I've got all of these, you know, items that are going to make my axes better, but I need a defensive. So you can see the BKB is getting queued up for the side here of Wish, and then BKB I think also was getting queued up for the Rubik as well. But again, we just see axes flying left and right. Focus running over, starts whacking away over here at this tower. And the rest of Brame, they're ready to fight. Lotus Orb completed on SkyLark too.
Okay.
It's a lot of saves.
Yep, he's got to worry about getting the Reflect Winner's Curse now. He's been getting cursed a lot because it's going to delay some time. I think it's maybe a bit of a trap. Normally you want to Winner's Curse the guy that's BKB because it burns his summon, his timer while he takes damage, but the downside is that like he can go BKB very often with Astral Spirits, so it doesn't quite work as well. But you know, use at the crucial time can be very good, obviously.
Like this, Lotus Orb is one of those things that it's almost always very, very good to pick up in a game too. Like it's usually not something where you're like, oh man, I should have, you know, gone for this instead.
Unless you forget to use it, as many of us do. But
fair.
yeah, very good item for sure. Removing debuffs, you could remove things like but it's certainly though the main goal is about Winner's Curse.
Well, they've pinned them pretty far into this base. You can see that they are trying to do a little bit of damage here in this top lane. They've got the Tide Hunter set up, trying to... He's really the only person that can kind of survive an initial jump, but... They are knocking at the door. They're not even knocking, they're battering ram the door with the Spirit Lance Shard now. Ooh.
Yep.
It's ambitious here coming out from the side of Tundra. Again, the Tide Hunter in the rear now. Put out a decent chunk of damage, force them back. Yeah, it is. Fata is, they use the... Come on, Fata, come back into the base. You can't be out here anymore, it's not safe.
Yeah, they got a little spotted there. The observer saw them coming in. They weren't even smoking out. They're kind of in a little bit of a desperation mode here. They know that they're getting behind and they can't really map control, so they need to take a fight. So they got to run out together, basically.
It's a 15k net worth lead here for at 27 minutes.
That's scary. They've got to get a big Ravage fight in. But we haven't really seen that last Ravage was excellent, but it wasn't fortunately at the right time. But he had to.
The way they split though, Fata's smoke popping here. Looks like they're gonna try to be a bit annoying, but something feels off.
Lose their ward.
They're still trying to zip around here. They can see, are they paying attention? Did they notice it? Skiter, okay, no, immediately disjoint here coming out from Phantom Lances. They'll go right back around again, and they'll just chop the way over. Skiter, the word comes out, the Ravage is coming out from 33, but he's not gonna be able to do anything because Skiter is already dead as SkyLark just chasing down 9 over onto the back lines here. And these core supports, oh my goodness, 33 manages to make it out. 9 does go down to SkyLark as he just chases after him and punches him in the face.
Oh, so hard for Tundra, but they feel like they have to force these awkward engagements, and I think they made mostly good choices. The stun throw, the PO, you basically have to in that circumstance. But as soon as he dodges it and he swarms you to defuse, so you're committed, and that's the end. There's just too much damage. It just feels over now that Rabbit got used in the same way.
Yeah, I mean, it was good positioning from 33 in the sense that he hit a lot of people, but like, oh man, they just absolutely obliterate Sneyking, who's already died back. Fata running back into base, 33 trying to get in there. They try to force staff him in, but look at this focus. He's doing his best Ana impersonation. The GG has already been called, but he's just slicing through everyone here in this fountain. And that's it. Brame, they're looking fierce and they're looking good.
They've got to be pumped right now. This is a huge match to win against Tundra Division 1 team. I think what we've really learned the last couple days is that these Div 2 teams in Europe have really performed pretty darn decently, much better than we expected going into this tournament. So props to them for taking this win.
Yeah, I mean, they're hungry. Yeah, you can see that, you know, the experience of like playing together for quite a while. You know, keep in mind Tundra does have Sneyking, who's just joined the squad. But at the same time, like, I feel like this patch really is lending itself to these teams that love to fight early, love to skirmish. And that's something that, you know, the boys on Brame have been very well known for, especially last season.
Well, hey, they're doing interesting stuff. They're jumping into the patch with a new fresh set of eyes. I feel like some of the other teams are maybe playing conservative, like they're the old meta from last season, but there are a decent amount of hero changes, and you know, abusing Elder Titan wins you a series.
over the edge. Feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear I've weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are falling. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's ancient is under attack. Radiant victory. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
My thanks to thee.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Don't believe this.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
What weathermancery is this?
What weathermancery is this?
Thank you.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Whoa, what'd I miss? My thanks.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire are scanning. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's ancient is under attack. Radiant's ancient is under attack. Dire victory.
What weathermancery is this?
Dire team pick.
items here. But we'll see. Maybe if they can get the Lash. I actually feel like the Lash was better, like higher priority than picking Monkey King. I don't think he has something that other carriers wouldn't bring to the table.
Yeah, I think they'll probably ban it.
Yeah.
And now,
Maybe they
yeah,
just don't
so
want the Lash.
do you Centaur to get everyone out of the Wukongs, even though you have to lane
5
versus the monkey, or do you go for something like a
Maybe
ranged...
that's why they went for this. Yeah, because of the center. I think it's a really hard lane with the Treant, maybe. Oh, there you go. Oof, that's so good for by Gorilla Sprite. I actually think their draft is miles stronger than Minomistas
really nasty.
right now.
That's gross.
Break on the Inner Beast, break on the Jingu.
Yep.
Can be 3, can be even
10
potentially mid,
seconds
if they try and mix it up with the monkey somehow. Because
Could
they
be
might be putting
5
this monkey mid versus the Magnus, right?
Radiant
Yeah.
team back.
Yes.
And then you enter this, and yeah, they banned. I think Lesh or Ember were significantly scarier. I mean, they have Viper, and they still ban Ember.
True.
I mean, this could be 5 Viper, right? Like we saw that once.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, and Cat really likes to play those different
10
positions. Oh
seconds
wow,
remaining.
you might be right, Zaire. I think you're into something here.
It's at least a
5
flex,
seconds
so something
remaining.
to consider with these final bans.
Uh-huh.
Then you take the Wyvern, and the flex is ready.
I don't think Mag support is like playable right now, so I definitely agree with you.
I also think he's
Viper.
just really good as a core. Like I think you want your Magnus farming. You want to make use of that self-empower, get some stacks going. That's your whole jam. You can drive the
10
game.
seconds remaining.
Okay, they take the Oracle down.
5
I don't
seconds
think it
remaining.
was that good, but you know,
Yeah,
taking
that's
the Primal Roar is annoying.
yeah, fair enough. I would
Radiant
still
team
want
back.
to maybe ban Centaur if I'm Binomises. I don't know if there's a high chance Gorilla's Pride take it, but it's just so good against Monkey. How do you?
You have the Treant, but then you're actually using both spells at the same time, which a lot of times is not going to be like ideal.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Is that the new counter to center? Just get Treant? That's why it's good.
5 seconds remaining.
The shard is pretty good,
Dire team
but
pick.
I wonder if it's just because of the overgrowth. Gyro
Cat's gyro.
It's okay.
That would
to
actually be
play
pretty
Viper
good with
fight.
PL in lane.
Yeah.
I won't let them run a roam very much.
Magic damage.
10 seconds remaining.
So if it is a 5 Viper, what do they take, like Tide or
5
something?
seconds.
If
That's
it's
gonna
core
get chewed up
Viper,
by the
I would just
Monkey
take
King.
like Witch Doctor right now, I think.
Yeah, if it's
I
core
I think
Viper,
Witch Doctor would look really nice.
Earth Spirit.
Okay,
So
the
if
Earth
they-
Spirit.
So
5
5
Rubik
Rubik?
then?
5, yeah.
Are they
Or
gonna
mid-Earth Spirit?
aggro?
Mid-Earth Spirit? Off-lane mag?
It could be. It could be.
Yeah, I mean you could get the
10
monkey off of you, I
seconds
guess.
remaining.
That
But
would
yeah, it's
be.
probably gonna be Viper mid
5
and
seconds
off-lane mag,
remaining.
which is surprising, right? Because I think the lane is kind of hard for the mag.
I guess somebody had to kind of get sacrificed a little bit. We might also see musical lanes, though. That's a bit harder to do
Choose
now
your
with the
hero.
lack of TPs, and they go back to the Juggernaut like this.
Okay.
Jug and Monkey together, though.
Off-lane Monkey King. Okay, the throw.
All right.
Oh my
So-
god, what are we
so-
doing? So minis on the beast?
Yeah.
So we're getting the eggs, which is great for the Rubik. And Dismar is taking the Earth
Interesting.
Spirit. They still haven't figured out everyone else yet, though.
Yeah, my
Oh,
My
that's
brain
a nice
hurts
looking
right
game
now.
3, I gotta say.
this is intense.
Wait, what if this is core Rube? No, there's no way. There's no way. It's core Rube.
All right, come on, GP. Let's see it here. I really don't know, Bowie. This is such an odd situation. If Cat takes the Viper, I won't be surprised.
Nah. It's gotta be Cap Rubik, Tau, and the Viper.
I think so
10
too, but they're
seconds
obviously
remaining.
talking about something.
The other option is it could be.
Oh,
Suck the
Rubik,
Rubik.
80
5
Rubik,
seconds
what
remaining.
Cat
That's
Magnus?
the Brex special, dude.
Alright.
Cat Magnus? Is that good?
I don't know about this.
Oh my gosh, this is wild.
Cause like you have this 5 mag, but the only hero that really benefits from it is their Phantom Lancer, and it doesn't really give you a great lane either. I think they ended up stuck with this mag after the Monkey King pick.
Oh man, so he's gonna be an Empower bot.
We got Funky.
Okay.
little
Well,
too
maybe-
funky, perhaps.
Maybe Cat can hit some clutch skewers. I guess that's like always been the hallmark of good support Magnus play. So fingers crossed on that one.
I'd rather be the Beanamistas, even if they have an off-lane monkey.
potential for this Rubik to become a god, especially since Mini's playing the Beastmaster. So, you know, stealing those axes are going to be a lot of value. But I think their draft is super wonky. I think Beanamistas are ahead in this one.
It's some OG stuff where you're just like, this looks like a disaster, and then they just kind of clown and win. So we'll see if they can go to Clown Town right now.
All right. Downtown, here we go.
The debut of Monkey King. Will the Wukong's command be effective here? Bear, we're going to need some help again on this one. Are you ready? Are you up to the challenge, pal?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, looking at these drafts, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like G-Pride have flexed so hard they're going to pull a muscle soon, swinging all these heroes into different roles. I was as confused as the panel was, but we've got a POS 5 Magnus, and it is with a Phantom Lancer who we've seen perform exceptionally well, even after those nerfs, Steven, haven't we?
Yep, I think it's a great hero. I'm glad that they went back for it because game one, it was incredible for them. This time around, they had a different strategy. They went for the Magnus so that Beanamistas don't go for the Phantom Lancer, and then they went for the Phantom Lancer themselves. What's interesting though, Gary, is we're in a patch where Monkey King is preferred to be off lane than the Beastmaster, and the Beastmaster is going mid.
Yeah. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, I guess with this Aghanim Scepter Beastmaster can do a hell of a lot.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really nice this game, especially against the PL. You know, it's okay against the illusions. You can kill those things. They can dispel them, unfortunately, but the timing early game where you're constantly shoving the lanes in and being able to pressure is going to be giving Juggernaut a better time farming up behind you.
Absolutely. And musical lanes is already brought up. Do you think we're going to see that? Lane swaps, TPs around, because it's been a while since we've had that kind of nonsense going on.
So I think the lane swapping would only work if they need this Viper to be on the lane with the Monkey King. But because the Monkey King is going to be on the side lane, then the lane swaps won't really amount to too much, I guess. Like the Rubik against the Monkey could be nice, but then the PL into the Juggernaut plus tree is also going to be really hard for the PL regardless.
So G-Pride is going to keep their heroes where they naturally move towards in their lanes. So it looks like we've got a little bit of an FPS problem for some of the G-Pride players. Just going to try and disconnect and reconnect, get back in.
It's a very greedy build from the position 5 Magnus as well. Bracer first item as a 5.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yep.
So,
I mean, it looks like he wants to just right click, I guess, and try to get some attention onto him, but I don't know about this one, Gary.
Yeah, we used to see, you know, the boots first, even just spamming regen, buying a load of Salves and Tangos and stuff to keep your PL alive. But yeah, definitely going to be an interesting one. Who is he going to be laning against? Because, you know, we see Benny, Nuages, and Jupiter kind of all around that top portion of the map, and it looked like Monkey maybe wanted to go down towards bottom lane.
Yeah, they were thinking maybe the Rubik was going to go safe lane, but I guess if the Juggernaut does go top with the Treant, they will be able to get free farm. I still rather have the Monkey against the PL. In this situation, just do the normal lanes, you know, let your Monkey King have a good game. If he stays bottom and he's up against like Rubik and Earth Spirit, maybe there's potential for him to die, especially when the Mirana wants to roam around. So rather your Juggernaut just chill bottom, you know, he's going to be the unkillable hero. Let the Monkey go top, beat up this Phantom Lancer, sit there forever, become a secondary core in this game. Oh wow, they saw him drop the word sexy fat.
Yeah, Argus and Cat both there.
no money from no sentry from the position 5 though.
He's got a bracer. And they'll probably know that with that Monkey King there, there's a large number of Beanamistas heroes around. And Monkey King even just going to plant himself on the top of that bounty room spot.
Yeah,
and we'll get the 2 for 2.
Signal G-Pride to actually make the PL go bottom possibly. Like, look at the way that Argus is moving. He's gonna go all the way around, not go into the ward. Let the Beanamistas think that the PL is going bottom, but they're not gonna fall for it. They're gonna send the Monkey top regardless. And I like this move from Beanamistas. You really want your Monkey King to be a secondary core in this game, I think, because he can deal with the Phantom Lancer really well too.
Yeah, especially if he, you know, we might not see the Battle Fury from him, but even just a Maelstrom, right? Maelstrom, Boundless Strike. You got ways to deal with some of those illusions.
Command, so good as well.
And they do see the PL Magnus now under that additional observer ward top, so they'll realize that they've made the correct decision. PL with a Magnus against that Marana Monkey. Lands level 1 into the arrow, can secure a couple of range creeps. That's pretty much how that lane's going to go. As mid lane, oh god, look at that! It's nearly first blood. Tao has gone straight on in there. He's hit level 2 and he's cracked it. Beastmaster turns around with the access to the ball. Oh shit, that was close. He'll trade back at the very least, but first blood goes to the Viper.
Oh man, this is where I think Mini was wishing he had a Fairy Fire. A lot of Beastmasters mid go for Fairy Fire first item. That would have been the factor.
The saving grace, yeah.
First blood, yeah, exactly.
And now bottom lane, Greedy, the Pos 3 Rubik being chased down. Benny and Nuages trying to stick on top of him. And they do have a spin here. I guess without the Nature's Grasp, they don't have that slow.
It's only level 1 too, not going to do too much damage on the early levels. And you definitely don't want to be going on the Earth Spirit. He's got boots of speed. He's very tanky. Rubik gonna sit behind the ES. If you ever find Greedy though out of position, that's the time you want to go. Oh, here we go, Greedy. Oh, gonna dodge the Nature's Grasp.
Nice TP.
Get that.
Gets back to
you gotta make sure the Nature's Grasp actually lands on the enemy hero.
Yeah, you do. And he's got a couple of salves on Greedy there, so he's gonna heal back up. Also looking like he's queuing up. Yeah. Also gonna be queuing up a bottle. So they're gonna have double bottle. Tao with one on that Viper, gathering up some water runes. Counterpart Mini also has one. It doesn't look like the Beastmaster's gonna get his hand on that rune.
That's nice. So Talking and also go and pick that up. Nope, Mini's going for it now.
It does mean Tao just shoves that way with Nether Toxin straight into the tier 1, and that's going to happen over and over again. You know, already, that Tao has lost a couple of hundred HP, and he's blocking the Beastmaster away from this lane.
What is this build from Viper actually? Level 2 Nether Toxin, 1 level in corrosive skin, and 1 level in poison attack?
A bit of everything.
Oh my god, I want to puke.
That's what Viper's doing right now. Throwing out that Nether Toxin.
Incredibly bad build. I'm just saying, Gary.
Not a fan.
You just keep level 1 Nether Toxin, you get your poison attack maxed out, that's how you get kills on heroes. Level 1 poison attack is an awful spell. It's just 4 damage per second. Like it actually doubles once it's leveled up.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. So would you prefer like 2-2-0, or you literally just want Nether Toxin level 1?
1 level in Nether Toxin. You don't even need that spell apart from like the early stages, and even for jungling, 1 level is good enough.
I am watching this battle between Cat and Jupiter. I'm keeping my eyes on them. Some funny stuff there. There's, there's an arrow, there's leaps, there's skewer, there's all sorts of stuff. They're kind of battling with each other. Salve and TP.
Salve and TP. Yep. He wants to go punish the monkey. To be honest, if the monkey's 1v1 in the PL, that's a huge win. Like Cat, Jupiter should be very happy with just entertaining Cat the whole time. Because the PL would naturally lose his lane very hard.
Yeah, and again, it's that concept of your core, your side lane core, getting farm and also shutting down the opponent's POS 1. And it's still going to take a little bit of time here, for Cat to get the levels in the Empower. He is starting to stack up some camps. And you do need to come out the laning stage with some levels on this Magnus. And how's that bot lane been going in the meanwhile? I've neglected to look down there in a little bit. Juggernaut free farming, as you expect.
It looks like it. I mean, Rubik can't really stop him from free farming, especially with the kill threat from the Treant plus the Juggernaut, the Nature's Grasp. And this is what we kind of expected with the lane setup. Monkey King versus PL, then Juggernaut also having a good time bottom. If he has good enough levels and Treant continues to pull, it's going to be really nice because G-Pride don't really have the heroes that can rotate to the Jug and kill him.
So then we need to start seeing Dismar on this Earth Spirit, make some rotations. He's going to have Tranquils pretty soon. He's got Smoke and a TP.
I think he's going to need to kill this Beastmaster once or twice with the Viper.
Absolutely. And Beastmaster, he's about to crack level 6. The roll misses. Mini makes a little step back. He's actually going to go jungle now.
6 now. No, he's maxing Nether Toxin? This is like one of the worst scaling spells in the game, Gary. It's got 3 levels in it already.
So what's the reason for that? Is it just wanting to push this lane out more consistently?
Maybe he just wants to, you can do it with level 1. He wants to push it like a millisecond faster, I guess.
Interesting. I guess it is the spell that they've kind of picked it for, you know, against Beastmaster, against Monkey King. Oh yeah, interesting.
I'm sorry, there's actually no justification.
Okay.
There's just none.
I'll stop trying.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We can start looking at other lanes because
absolutely, you're done with it. You don't want to watch that anymore. Look up towards top. Monkey King is just getting that free farm now. He's actually bullied the Phantom Lancer away. Cat and Argius here trying to stack, pull, reset this lane equilibrium, and powered Phantom Lancer clearing out a small camp. Bounty runes at 6 minutes.
This feels really bad if you're a PO. That being kicked out of the lane this early because of the lane matchup. Not just jungling. I would have loved to have seen G-Pride just abandon this Rubik bottom, let him sit there with his boots, spamming out waves with Fade Bolt and right-clicking Jug, get the Earth Spirit to go top and kill this Monkey King once or twice. Because Mag, Earth Spirit, PL can definitely make that happen. You got 2 souls, and then you can get the Skewer into the tower, get a kill or 2 on him, get back some of that lost XP and gold from Monkey's Denies.
Especially in the early levels, like Monkey King, a hero that, you know, levels kind of 1 through 4, he is very susceptible to getting tri-laned or jumped on. He's had a free old time there. As we did lose a courier.
Okay, we got a 7-minute Boots of Travels on Viper, by the way.
That's pretty hot. That's pretty damn good timing.
Yeah. It's very fast. I mean, he's just been farming with the Naruto. Like, he's not even trying to do anything on the map at the moment or get kills on this Beastmaster. Just playing for the farm, just shoving the lanes out. He had a nice triple stack there on the big camp made by his team.
I got a roar onto Cap. Arrow and axes are there too. And we'll find that takedown as well as also scouting and clearing through some of these stacks, which we've seen a number of times now. Incredibly important, not only to take it away from the empowered Phantom Lancer, but also accelerating the Aghanim Scepter on Beastmaster.
Oh my god, Gary. He's got a 4th point Neurotoxin. Okay, I'm done. I'm done talking about this. Never mind. 4th point. Jesus, this is the first time I've seen this. Legit.
It used to be the build when you had like the you know, the spell lifesteal time with Veil.
It would have had a better cooldown, right? Now it's just like 14 seconds. Doesn't scale with the cooldown. It's just some damage. But yeah.
When was that? It was like first Epicenter when we're thinking about like 3-4 years ago when that was the build. Back in the Dire Jungle, yeah, Monkey King with a Rubik. They will get in here with a Viper and SsaSpartan. It looks like he's got a bridge too far. They're bound to strike there. He doesn't manage to stay alive against 5 Dire heroes who do collapse to defend their jungle. It's all space though. Benny free farms bottom lane. Like you were saying, Greedy can't really stop that from happening. It's a very odd game. You know, the draft was a little bit wonky, like Bowie said. They flexed all these heroes into kind of weird positions.
I mean, the thing is, Radiant is winning pretty hard right now. They got the top tower. They won 2 lanes. Beastmaster just does Beastmaster things. Doesn't matter who he lanes against. He's not going to beat that lane. He's just playing for farm to get his Aghanims. So once he gets his Ags, that's when he's online. And right now, everything is on this Viper to try and do something. But Viper has a very farm-intensive build, and he needs a lot of levels before he's still in fighting shape. Like PO, he's struggling because the Viper is taking most of his farm in the jungle. He's level 6 on the PL still, Gary. It's 9 minutes into the game.
Yeah, he's gonna have to start like farming ancients or something. Get back into that right-hand triangle. And G-Pride there, wasting a lot of time here. Still sticking around in that jungle, waiting for anyone to come back up. Cat's probably gonna go and stack some more camps. And Viper returns to the mid lane, realizing he can continue doing a bit more damage to that tier 1, but all the chip damage he's done, all that nether toxin push and slowly shove in, it's gonna get negated by this Nuage's Treant. He's healing it up with the living armor. So it's not as though they've even got themselves an objective.
Here. Yeah, he's chilling here now too.
Just sit mid, defend.
Yep. And this is where, like, has he even used his Boots of Travel's TP once yet on top?
Once.
Like he
TP'd from top jungle into mid lane.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty much it. But yeah, they're not putting on any pressure. They seem pretty content just to keep on farming. Beastmaster, yeah, he's gonna get struck. Where's the Viper? But where are the
He's out.
stuns? Where's the kills? He's just gonna TP home.
Yeah. No damage.
Mirana also causing issues, dragging them around. They are just wasting so much time chasing ghosts in their own jungle. Maybe if they catch this Mirana, it'll be at least a little bit worth it for their supports, but the leaps over to the
He can
high
TP
ground.
out
And now, yeah,
if he
exactly.
wants to. He's just playing with them. He's just like killing their creeps and, you know, creating
Down
some
bottom.
chaos. Maybe
As a Wu comes up to the Viper, Tau. What's he done down here as he boots have traveled into the middle of them all?
Good for cleaning off blood.
PS card is dead too now. Some more gold.
no.
Yeah, Viper just died. Like, he's the highest net worth hero, just fed so much XP. Juggernaut now level 10.
Radiant's middle tower is under
So
attack.
happy. Like, this is the freest jug game ever right now, Gary. He has 0 heroes pressuring him.
He is super happy. He's going to have, what, 12.5-minute Battle Fury? Like, they're going to find the Mirana at long last. Takes 3 or 4 heroes to track back and finally find her. And they know about this high ground observer board too. Cat going to plant down a sentry. Yeah, get rid of that vision at long last.
Wow,
It feels
that
like
Obsword gives 146 gold. Jeez.
nice money.
Yeah. Back in my day, dewarding Obsword didn't give you any gold. And sentries
anything.
costed 100 gold.
And you had to buy 2 at a time.
100 gold each, so you had to buy 200 gold for 2 sentries, and dewarding gave you nothing.
That was stupid. I'm so happy with the support changes they've made over the years. Oh. But yeah, every step the G Pride make, it always feels like a step backwards. Like they're going back onto their side of the map behind tier 3s to hunt Mirana, to chase her down. They're forcing people out of their jungle. They're not invading anywhere. Viper, you know, trying to TP out onto these lanes to accomplish stuff. But it's just a losing battle on every front. Aghanim Scepter is pretty much here for Mini.
Really hold anybody down too. He's only got 2 levels in the poison attack. Went for the level 2 corrosive skin here too. Like the thing that makes Viper so powerful, he's not able to do it. And he's going for a right click build here.
So is there a timing you see? Is there a window like 20 minutes in where it's like Phantom Lanta timings?
Well, Phantom Lanta, if he gets to the Diffusal plus the Manta and then the Shard, they could have some fighting potential, but I think Vietnamese are going to hit those timings faster. Beastmaster, he's 100 gold away from the Aghanims. Not the fastest Axe timing, but good enough. Juggernaut, he's already got Battle Fury, and he's just free farming.
Oh yeah.
No pressure on him.
He's gonna get ahead of the Viper pretty damn soon. And PL, he's starting to catch up a little bit, but he needs Cat there constantly for this level 4 empower. And it looks like Viper and Earth Spirit were setting up top lane. They're under a Hawk, unfortunately, and Mini, he's kind of baiting them. He knows they're both there. They TP 3 heroes in behind him. Jupiter, Nuages, as well as Benny. So it's a level 5 Mirana 14 minutes in though, Theban. You know, Jupiter has caused a lot of havoc and chaos, not only for the opponents, but for himself, it looks like.
Yeah.
Finally.
The Mirana is going to be okay as long as she gets to that Yule Scepter. I mean, she's made a lot of space. Their 3 cores are extremely farmed. So if you get to the Yules, that's going to be okay. You're going to be able to use the Rio PL because you can see the Empower on him. Remove that, get an arrow maybe if the illusions are somewhere else.
And I guess you do have a level 9 Treant because that's been happening. He's just been sitting on, sitting on lanes, defending mid, defending bot.
I have a feeling he's the one who... Oh, this one?
Yeah, they catch the Earth Spirit. He is absolutely dead.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Now the
attack.
Moonlight Shadow to retreat. Viper can't get in there.
Is under attack.
Doing work now for the Beastmaster. By the way, Gary, I played as Beastmaster. I played at position 4. I went max axes, 1 level in Beast, and then stats. And guess what? I had the 2nd highest damage in the game.
So not a single... Didn't even bother with Call of the Wild.
Nope. Just
even for the
spam axes. Not even the Hawk.
Wow.
I mean, I got it later, obviously, in the game once I couldn't level stats anymore.
You had no other choice.
Yeah.
Okay. If I must.
I mean, it's really nice because you get really good HP, mana, and using Call, it costs mana too. It's 75 mana just to use the thing. I mean, wouldn't you rather just use axes to farm.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, farm heroes as well. Well, Monkey King, level 11, he's got a Witchblade queued up, so not going to go that Maelstrom route. Went for the hood to tank himself up, because he's going to be that first point of contact in these fights.
Exactly. He's playing that position 3 role. I think it's good because the Beastmaster is like spellcaster. He's never going to be going deep into a fight. He's just chilling in the back, very much like a Rubik. Rubik is trying to become a Beastmaster, by the way, by buying Ags first item, but it's very much delayed. Plus, if you buy the Ags and you get the axes, like it feels good because you can push lanes out and such, but it also feels bad because the point of Ags is to get multiple spells, and you're gonna be stuck in that mindset where you just want to keep the axes only.
All I want are axes. Well, I guess he's got the arcane supremacy as well, so if he does,
it's really
rather when
you're a better
axes,
version. Your axes are a better version of Beastmaster's axes.
Oh, for sure. 26% spell amp and the cast range, being able to chuck them from such a long range. And he's going to be able to defend this mid lane just with the Magnus and the Rubik there, zapping down the creeps.
Yeah,
so the Beastmasters.
This problem right now. They're not like collapsing on the mid tower properly, going from the back. And 17 minutes in the game, tower's still up. That's real bad. I think that's always been Beastmaster's problem. I think just the mid-game decision making, how to take objectives.
Well, this would have been much better, but a good skewer out means Cat has created a bit of a gap, but the Axe's damage takes the Magnus out as the Wukong does get thrown in there. They lift right back to Beastmaster into the Nether Toxin as Dismar rolls in with the Magnetize. Juggernaut spinning very aggressively past that tier 2 mid lane. He's got to make a hasty retreat. The rest of his squad dropping low to the Magnetize. We've got bottle charges, got a bit of regen, and healing ward is back up for the Jug. So they do get the pick and the push into that mid tier 1 from the top of the tower, and forcing a glyph. It looks like G-Pride still want to stick around and fight here. Maybe go for a deny. No, they decide better of it.
Well, they got the tower, and Mini doesn't die. They use the Earth Spirit Magnetize there. I would love to see Beastmasters just go back in to do the same thing. Juggernaut's Omnislash couldn't do too much in the engagement. Didn't get any kills. But it was nice to have, for Beastmasters, that is, to get the PL and the Viper to go middle and try to defend that tower. Because that means at least when you were making this play, they also couldn't be farming.
And they couldn't be pushing bottom lane either. This map is starting to become very open for the Beastmasters. Top tier 1, mid tier 1 means that kind of top 30% of the map is all theirs, and that includes the Roche Pit. Well, the Dire team's still in this position where they're just waiting for that next item. Next item, Viper's BKB. Manta style on Phantom Lancer, Aghanim Scepter on Rubik. So it is going to be like, what, 22-ish minutes where they probably feel like they can play their draft and play some Dota 2 with the heroes they've picked.
Yeah, they gotta get that shard going after the Manta. You know what I want to see right now, and I think Mini is making a huge mistake not doing it, is Roshan right now. He's got the Ocean Heart. He can just sit outside the pit, just throw the axes onto the Roshan, get the kill on it. Like, his teammates are strong enough. They just gotta force it. Like, this Aegis is huge. It's a lot of XP and gold, and it's a big wasted opportunity with this Ags Beastmaster.
Especially when you've got like Wukongs and Nature's Grasp and Overgrowth, roll down into bottom lane, but Nuages is already in the trees. Doppelganger over them, trying to spot him out.
Got the mag. Where the arrow?
Not sure about that. Cat gonna fake pump the RP. Poison attack's coming and a roll forward from Dismar. Jupiter surviving through that. A Grove Bow and Viper causing some issues. Some TP's down to bottom lane. Phantom Lancer, and he felt that one coming. Monkey King, he can't make the leap. He gets spotted out. Mana burn and the inhibit there, slowing him down as well. Magnus and Viper both TPing bot to try and aid their Phantom Lancer. This is now a Treant with a Meteor Hammer though, so bot lane not only can you not push into tier 1, but he's going to be shoving back just as hard.
It's very strong, and he keeps healing up that tier 1. It's so annoying for G-Pride here. But you know what, Gary? Greedy, he's got the axe now. He's also stolen the axes. The lanes are possible. Yep, everything's gonna be pushed out. The big problem I see here for Beastmasters is they're laking.
Yeah, I think
they're gonna have a carry that can free farm. Obviously, going into the fights, you might face up a Doom, but you know, in theory of laning phase, it's not too bad.
I love the bans coming out. Drow, typically not something we would see, but with this new patch, I think both captains, right? They're not necessarily drafting on what we saw last major, but on their history, like 10 years of Dota. And historically, you see a Puck, you have a Doom on your team. Drow Ranger is very spooky. Like this I think Drow Puck is one of the higher, at least top 5 win rates in terms of hero combination, hero duos. What's the?
Yeah,
That
duos.
Dota, there's it's like
Pairings.
pairing. Yeah,
That
they use a
works.
specific word.
Pairings does
Very
enough for me.
sounds
Yeah.
great. Yes.
They call it a truple or something for 3 heroes.
Truthful? I don't know. I like the
a
idea of
double.
the sure. Yes, Kyle. The Tusk as well. If it does go into the 5 roll, it just bodies for any of these range carries as well. And that's something you have to look out for, because if this is just a casual mid puck, 5 Tusk now, as you see from Secret's ban, these Drows, these Weavers, even some Deucer, if Miracle wants to go super hard carry, these type of heroes work well. Of course, Miracle
Do we
is
think
mid lane.
is for sure mid Puck? Because, I mean, just to confirm, like LTW is a carry player. There's no chance that we're going to see him taking mid.
I don't think you'd get ILTW if you're gonna let him play mid. Then you would get Sumail.
Okay. So if we expect Miracle mid, do we really think they would just bring out a Puck? Because traditionally, when I think about his mid heroes, as Tiga was saying, like he was playing a lot of the ones. Part of why he was moved to carry was because the mid role had developed into this playmaker style that he didn't necessarily feel comfortable on.
Puck also gets played as position 5 and 3
It
sometimes.
can. I think in regards to the whole Miracle talk, we just need to be aware that Miracle can play very active.
Yeah.
He can play very greedy. The ability to have both options is what you need. And that's what, like we mentioned, that's what RTW brings, because he can also do both styles of carry.
Yeah.
So we're not always going to be seeing, haha, semi-carry safe lane with a super hard carry mid. It's just the options are being opened up from Nigma. And a big issue they had in Season 1, they had no flexibility in their drafts. It was just, surprise, Miracle's got this hero now. It's like there was no real kind of flair, and that's what it brings.
I like the Gyro third. They've already banned out a bunch
are scanning. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Ho-ho!
You die. Yet your fair
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Let the fun begin!
So simply that they can't surprise Secret, right? They have to pick a hero, and no matter what, Secret then has advantage on deciding what happens with this Venom answer. If it's like Venom into most lanes, will be very happy. But
doing so well into answering what Team Nigma had at the time. Is there anything left that they still need to cover with their last pick?
the key thing here in this position is there doesn't feel like there's a single pick that's like amazing, we got you. It's all about laning setups.
You just go for a casual Void Spirit, perhaps? Just something that doesn't lose the lane and kind of jack of all trades, because you have team fight. You can count on your gyro. You likely think it's a puck mid. They could flex it to a Razor, so it can't be something abusable like a Dragon Knight.
They do need someone to go into the fight first. They have a lot of kind of...
I mean, you could just DK
back
them.
lane.
It's just annoying because of the link, but theoretically he's going to be targeting your gyro.
Yeah, but then they could also just put the Razor mid and punish that for sure.
Went for the bounty.
Wow. Okay.
All right, let's hold tight. Let's see what heroes are being picked. All right.
Yeah, Matsu
Parry,
gyro.
It's
easy.
Off-lane
Nice.
bounty.
Mid Doom. Okay. Position 5 Venom. Very casual.
Wow. So this is cool. mid Doom against Puck's quite nice because you get such high regen. Puck spam and right click doesn't really affect you, and you just out GPM him.
I like the idea where Secret have, now that we've seen the Razor into offlane, the whole idea of static link and pressure is mitigated, because if you run into a barrage and a gale, you're not going to be a happy Razor. So I like the laning setups that Secret have, and Nigma just has the nicer looking skirmishing in the fight, but just the creativity Secret just feels like it has a little bit extra depth.
The track gold's the X factor because you have these heroes, Doom, Lion, Gyro.
Doom and Bounty, there's so much money being produced.
You're getting more gold for kills and also more gold when there's static on the map, but you can spend these big cooldowns to just get bonus gold for you. Like, you're not going to, as Nigma, if you get doomed on Jug or stun hexed into a finger combo, like, you're going to die. There's not really much turnaround. Like, you don't have the team fight to battle.
So it's the economy game. This game is
so much money is gonna get printed. Yeah.
How is team? Pixel and Fog.